Oh, what the hell is this? Okay. Anyway. Hello everyone, welcome to this shit. Wait, can you hear me yet? Because I accidentally clicked on the thing and now it's like doing it. I'm a little confused about everything actually. What is happening? What is happening? Why does it say this? Excuse me. Excuse? What happened? What is happening? Is it? Oh god. Oh. Oh. Let me have a look. Is it over here? Okay. This? 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 Oh, it's okay. Never mind. Hello. Okay. Never mind. The dashboard's just been weird, I guess. Welcome everybody to the stream. I'm here. Hello. Sorry. I was hungry. And it was like really hard for me to get out of bed. Because it was so cold. But I'm here now. Mother, can you close the door, please? No? Okay. Anyway. Hello. How's everybody? How are you doing? Hmm? Oh, I have arrived. I don't know when I will next stream because, like, this is kind of like a one-off thing at the moment because I don't have a place to live yet. But Octotiggy are on holiday. They went away to faraway land for a week, so I'm here to look after Naru and use their internet. Why is my hand sticky? I did wash my hand. Ooh. Is anybody out there? Are you out there? Everybody? What is happening? I'm just gonna go wash my hand. Oh, you are. Good. Just checking. Just checking. Okay, I'm just gonna wash my hand. Hold on. I'll be just a moment. Oh, it's so convenient. The kitchen is right here. Anyway, yes, it is very cold here. I mean, it's not, I don't think it's actually cold, like outside, but I don't know, somehow temperature in New Zealand is different to temperature in Finland, or maybe I got used to it being really hot in Australia on the way or something, I don't know, but it's just, it's like so fucking cold, and Octotiggy's heater really sucks, and it like takes 10,000 years to actually turn on, and it's, I'm okay now. I'm okay now. Let me close this. Alright, and then close this, and close this, and this. Does my controller work with this game? Let's have a look. Does it not work with this game? It's dumb. No wait. Oh yeah, load, yes. Load button, yes. Oops, sorry, I hit the mic stand, my bad. Let's see. Let's see. March the 31st, April the 7th. There's only one page of saves. January. I guess it must be 10:48. Then it must be this one. Alright. Let's go. Let's go. Do we remember what was happening? No, we don't remember what was happening. Shall we have a look at what's happening? Okay. Yes, it is the kitchen. Yep. Alright, let's have a look at... Ooh, music. Let me just do a thing real quick. Right. So we have the witch's letter 3, apparently. Members of the Usurumia family and its household, have you now reached the climax of the riddle of the goat's epitaph? There's only one way you all can stop me, by solving the epitaph's riddle. There are no other options left to you that will result in the suspension of my ceremony. I humbly ask that you take care not to misunderstand your current situation. Such a searching for me will prove useless. Attempting to escape will prove useless. Trying to deny me will prove useless. And you will suck. Oh, I know what's wrong. Hold on, sorry, just kidding. I used to change the stream. I do this like every time I play this game. I'm like, oh, the window is the wrong size. And it's like, that's because you don't have the game maximized. Because you're dumb. And it's like, oh, that's mean. Jeez, I have to be so mean. Let me just do this. Why is using the mouse so hard? Come on. I'm not used to sitting upright. I'm like at a desk. Actually, it's like a writing desk from the 90s, but it's just very strange. I'm so used to lying on my stomach. That sounds weird, but because I was a laptop user before I was a PC user, so I used to use my desktop like a laptop. Come on, get into the corner. Do it. That will do. Okay. Yeah. I also just realized I don't actually have the chat up, so hold on, let me do that real quick. Let's open the thing. Look, it's been a long time since I last streamed, okay? I don't remember how things work. How has everybody's week been, Because it's like, you know, it's Friday. Well, for me, it's 11 in the morning on Saturday, but for you, it's Friday. Most of you, probably. Except, actually, those of you in England, I think it's now... Isn't it now 1 a.m.? Oh, it's about to be 1 a.m. for you. So for you too, I guess it is also... And, well, actually, and I guess for a lot of Europe, it's already Saturday. So, in North America, it is still Friday. You're living in the past. Let me change this. And then I need to make it do this. Actually, do I want it to do this? Ugh, no, I don't want this. It's dinner time. Dinner time. Sounds good. Dinner sounds good. Alright, let me read the chat. Hold on. Kangaroo Town. Yes. The faraway land of Kangaroo Town. Yep. That's actually its real name. Into the survival horror, you are evolving from a fish on its stomach crawling out of the primordial ooze and now sitting upright like a normal human being. Why would you say this? Why does primordial ooze sound so familiar? Oh, it reminds me of a Gilmore Girls quote. That's why. Okay, let me put you over here, sitting like that. That looks good. I think that's good. Okay, sorry, I got really close to the mic there. What is happening? Okay, so my controller definitely doesn't work with this game. That would be easier if it did. It's kind of surprising it doesn't. Unless it's just because it's not... Oh, it's probably not connected. Whatever. It's too much effort. Okay. Anyway, searching for me will prove useless. Attempting to escape will prove useless. Trying to deny me will prove useless. P.S. I borrowed these 2 corpses for before my ceremony. They will be returned to you in due time, so I crave your indulgence. Also, these keys belong to you, so I return them to you now. Okay. Let's have a look at the characters. Lots of people are dead. What was that noise? I don't know if that was in the game or in real life. Ew! What is this? Died in the servant room, his throat sliced open by a sharp blade or something similar. However, this alone isn't enough. Okay. This corpse was found in the chapel. The direct cause of death is unknown, but it seems... Oh, this is the one with all the Halloween stuff. Okay, alright, we're on that arc. Alright. The finishing touches are yet to come! Oh yeah, because she said she was taking 2 corpses or whatever, so that would be Kumasao and him. However, this alone isn't enough. Okay. So, I don't remember these 2 dying. I remember the Halloween thing, because that was horrifying. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she got killed by some demon thing. Oh, well, they all got killed by some demon thing. But she got killed by, like a real demon-y thing. As opposed to a witchy thing. And then Kanan has no corpse. Yes. Yes, that's right. To desecrate his, well, not desecrate, but like to hurt his memory or whatever. He just disappeared. Okay. Primordial soup. I disappear for a second when I come back on the same screen. This bodes well. Well, that's my streams. Okay. Oh yeah, and she actually was in this. Right. Alright. I am going to reconnect my controller. Because... Come on, get out of the PC. Do it, thank you. Because it's more comfortable to use the controller. That's why. Oh, did I like... Nope. Congratulations. So I have to like use this tool, this Logitech tool thing to connect my PC, my PC, my controller. I'll probably have to restart the game. That's okay, because nothing has happened. I told you there'd be 15 to 30 minutes of technical difficulties. Hello, controller. Oh, it's done. Okay, good. Good. Yeah, I have to do that. Okay, 1 second. Let me close Steam. Oh no, I think Steam's okay. I think Steam was okay. I think it came up being like, you've connected your thing. A bloop bloop. Let me check. Steam has been really annoying lately. You know how you can calibrate your controller in Steam? When I try to do that, it... No, wait! Did I manage to get it to work that one time? Just kidding, never mind. Never mind, I forgot that I got it to work and it was because I was doing it wrong. Okay. Never mind. I was having an issue where, like, it didn't seem to be working and it was just trying to navigate the menus and stuff, but it was actually just because I suck. Okay. Now is it working? Yay! Oh, is it? I'm sorry, is that upside down? So this is down, and this is up. What? That's a bit weird. Why does it do this? Not that it matters, I guess. So I'm never gonna need the up and down button. Okay, I'll just use my mouse. Here. Naru? What are you doing? Welcome to the stream, Adam Daniels. Oh, Inklings are excited to see you. Oh, you're in the Philippines? Oh. Have fun and stay safe. Yeah, I think that's most PC games, to be fair. To be fair. Okay. Oh, also, I remember no one's voices, so that's great. That's great. I can't believe it. Are you saying that's the truth? Yes. We've told you everything as we saw it. George folded his arms and started mumbling again. And the kitchen was once again wrapped in a long silence. George Summer, I'm fully aware how hard it must be for you to believe all that so suddenly. After all, even though I saw it with my own eyes, I grow less and less sure what it was I actually saw. I'm sure I saw it. And I'm sure I got into a fight too. And yet, I almost feel like it was all an illusion. I see. So that's why you couldn't go into the details in front of Aunt Rosa. If you actually told her what you just told me, you'd probably be in even more trouble. Also, let me know if the levels and all that stuff are bad. Oh, wait! Is this by any chance out of sync? I don't remember what I streamed last. Let me check that that's... Oh, never mind, it's fine. Just kidding! Just kidding, it's fine. But yeah, let me know if the audio levels and stuff are bad and things. Anyway, if you actually told her where you are, blah, 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 yes. Yeah, Genji-san really did handle that one composedly, didn't he? If only I had the power to explain it myself. George had not actually seen it, and even when pressed to believe, he just couldn't imagine it. 25%? Good. It was only natural, because even the people who had actually seen it had given up asking themselves what it was. Let's rewind the story a bit. Shannon, you said that when you thought Kanon-kun was an imposter, you picked up some spider webs and came back, right? Why did you do that? That's right. I was thinking about that as well. Why spiderwebs? Actually, I might have to... I wonder if I should do this. Oh no, never mind. It's not. Yeah, never mind. Turn this down a little bit. Okay. I happened to hear it from Kumasawa-san once. A long time ago, evil spirits lived on Rokkenjima, and they, feared spiderwebs. And they say there's a legend that people treasured spiderwebs as amulets. And, right at that moment, I think I was also a bit confused. When it comes to those old stories, Kuma-sama was very knowledgeable. Well, spiders are very useful bugs, after all. Yes, it wouldn't be at all strange for a belief system like that to come into being. I mean, it wouldn't be... whatever. I'm sure that the Tori shrine was suppressing the power of those evil spirits. And because the spirit mirror was broken, that power came back. That power must be what allowed Beatrice-sama to revive. I'm so sorry. Oh, she is saying this. Okay. Oh, whoops. If I, weak-hearted as I am, hadn't done such an outrageous thing. Is she like lying on the floor? What was that noise I just made? Oh! Shannon, you don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't blame you for it. Since long ago, Shannon had often suggested that there was some kind of occult cause for her meeting with George. After listening to her, George had grown to think that she was being a typical girl. Wow, that's rude. Associating love with fate, chance, and miracles, because guys never do that. Oh no, sure you don't. He did think that smashing the spirit mirror offered at the Torii shrine was taking it a bit far, but he'd laughed it off and forgiven her, thinking of it as just a prank that showed how serious she was about her relationship with him. Just breaking a mirror in some musty shrine wouldn't have changed the fate of our meeting, and it would never cause any curse. He tried to cheer her up, saying it was only a musty mirror covered in dust. Ever since I started working on this island, I've heard the story of a spirit called Beatrice-sama from several co-workers. In the beginning, I thought it was ridiculous, but since it would appear indiscreet to say anything out loud, outwardly I conducted myself as though I also believed it. But could it really? She existed. Beatrice-sama was in this mansion all along, but she'd lost her powers and wasn't able to appear before us. She did exist all this time. It's just that we couldn't see her. I'd like to hear Genji-san's opinion. I have no opinion. All I want to say is that, at that time, there were 5 of us in this room. Then I thought that Kanon had returned through the back door. After that, we carried him to the servant room. Something happened, and now Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa will never come back to us. That is all. We have already explained everything we saw. I understand how unreasonable it would be to try and force belief from one who didn't witness those events, such as yourself. How could he believe it? I was sure it was Kanon-san, but it got up from the bed, and that's right, when it started to grope about that wound in its chest in that manner. I felt sure that it wasn't Kanon-san, but something else. Did I say someone or someone? Wait. I doubt you'll be able to understand George-sama. Why is George smiling? It's creepy. The terror of that moment when the person I thought I knew well exposed that it was in fact someone else entirely. I can't explain. I can't explain it at all. I understand. I can tell that whatever happened, it was terrifying enough to give you such a shock. Thank you very much, George-sama. And they all fell silent again. Shannon kept crying no matter how many times she was consoled, thinking that listening to the witch's sweet whispers and breaking the spirit mirror on that day had been the mistake that ruined everything. Well, she's not wrong. Well, at least from what the story has told us. The story who whispered these things to you loses her power if that loses her power if that mirror exists, right? I think she explained it to me a little, but I don't really remember. I think she said something about how she couldn't release her power as long as that mirror existed. What happened to this mirror that you broke? I don't remember. I left it behind when I broke it, so it's probably just how I left it. So when, as they say, the reef was struck by lightning and disappeared, it must have sank to the bottom of the ocean. Well, I doubt picking it up and taping it together would make it start working again. What have I done? What have I done? Sorry. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. He didn't know if Shannon breaking the mirror really had started all this off. Though the servants didn't blame Shannon, they all seemed to believe that her actions had been the root cause. But even now, George wasn't able to go that far. All this talk about witches and evil spirits just sounded fake to him, even though he was trying to be open-minded. Even so, he listened seriously to Shannon's story, trying to find a hint that might relieve at least a little of the pain in her heart. Trying to find. That's true. Come to think of it, though it's surely different from the one in the Torii, I've heard that Madame keeps a spirit mirror as a charm. Really? Aunt Natsuhi? Yes. I believe she received it as a memento from her grandfather or something, and that it functioned as a powerful ward against magic. Where's Battler? I don't know. I feel like he should be listening to this conversation. Spirit mirror of high pedigree, I think. I have also heard the same story. Something about the mirror having the power to reflect that which is not good and send it back. Oh! Hello, lightning. Oh, hello, music. If we had that spirit mirror, could we resist Beatrice since she's a witch? This is a nice theme. Ooh. Huh? Actually, is this loud enough? I guess so. I'm surprised. Oh, I have my headset really quiet, that's why. I was like, I can barely hear this music. It's because I'm dumb. Anyway. Huh? When George proposed this, the servants looked up. The shrine in the torii where it was kept are gone now, but the important thing is that there's still another spirit mirror. Oh, it sound scared the shit out of me. Ooh, I think there was a car outside. Oh, now you get to hear all the traffic that we usually hear in Octa2U streams. Oh, goody. I've heard that Aunt Natsuhi's family is descended from Shinto priests. Maybe that isn't just a simple mirror. I'm sure I've heard Madam say she keeps it in a treasure box. It might not be very loud. What is this music? It's so good. It's like Xenogears music. I don't think its size is a problem. Even the mirror I broke was just a small, insignificant looking... was a small and insignificant looking thing. If our opponent is a cult, then we'll have to use the occult to fight back. Look at his face. Sitting around here won't solve anything. Tricky traffic? Yes, tricky traffic. It's worth trying, if only for some peace of mind. Of course this didn't mean George had accepted the witch. However, he thought it would be necessary to have some kind of purification ceremony to heal the wounds in Shannon's heart. So the story about Natsuhi's spirit mirror was really convenient. His face. Let's go. I won't say anything crazy like let's go get it and finish off the witch. However, I think it'd be useful to have some sort of charm that can protect us from her. Maria-chan told me about it earlier, but the daughter grandfather's room was supposed to be able to repel magic, right? That's our grandfather for you. It means he was pretty good on defense when it comes to the occult. Let's go. To Aunt Natsuhi's room. But I think Madam's room is locked. We returned the master keys to Rosa-sama, and even the key box in the servant room is now locked away. In that case, Aunt Natsuhi should have had a key on her person. Aunt Natsuhi's corpse should still be in the chapel. We probably shouldn't be disturbing it before the police come, but we can give a full explanation later. However, the entrance to the chapel is also locked. Koda-san, can't you break a single glass window with your physical strength? You could smash it with a nearby rock. Would it really be okay to break the window of that important chapel? When grandfather gets mad at us, I'll take responsibility. From the beginning, I've been ready to fight the whole Ushiromiya family today. Oh, have you now? I've got to get them to accept my engagement to you. Oh yeah, then right, of course. So I've been prepared from the start. Let's break the glass. Then, let's borrow the key from Aunt Natsuhi's corpse. George's announcement that he'd take responsibility seemed to have given the servants a great deal of courage. Shannon and Gorda looked at each other, then looked at George's face again. Grandfather knows everything about the occult. I'm sure he'll understand if it's the power of Aunt Natsuhi's spirit mirror we're talking about. Don't worry, he won't get mad at you. I wonder if Madame's mirror will really be able to seal Beatrice-sama once again. I don't know, but I think it's worth trying. So, let's go. It's getting darker and darker outside. Quickly! Shannon, get a flashlight. Goro-san, find something that looks like it could break the glass. Sorry, Genji, but can you be on umbrella duty? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The servants who had been rejected by Rosa gained a new master and started to move. George, who was normally calm and gentle, was now radiating dignity. Can he not be calm and dignified at the same time? Shannon checked the emergency flashlight, just in case she changed the batteries. Oh, that's a good idea. You never see that in things. It's always like, oh no, the torch went out. Gorda was testing several heavy-looking cooking tools. Normally, a highly praised chef like him wouldn't want to use them for something other than their intended purpose, but now he was frantic to fulfill the orders of the one he accepted as his master, and probably to not die. After some worrying, he took a large, thick-feeling frying pan, not frying pan. Genji removed several umbrellas from the umbrella stand set in the corner near the kitchen door. He took 3 of them. Genji-san? I cannot go with you. Oh, someone's gonna die. It would be embarrassing for me, as the head servant of the Utsunomiya family, if we were all gone when an order is given. Okay. But Genji-san, even you must understand how dangerous it is to be alone in the mansion now. I cannot go. I cannot go. I must remain here so that the master can call for me at any time. Genji-sama. Go and obey George-sama. Be careful not to make any blunders. Gorda, I'm counting on you to set an example. I will probably be dead the next time you see me. Yes. Leave it to me. I will surely fulfill my duty. You're sure about this, Genji-san? Yes. I am already at this age. All the days of my life until now have been spent repaying the debt I owe the master. The roulette will decide the fate of a senile old man like myself. I will sit here and see what the result will be with my own eyes. As Genji said that, he sat down. As though saying that he didn't intend to discuss this anymore, his gaze fell to the chessboard that he played Nanjo on. When George saw this, he decided to leave Genji there. Let's go, everyone. It looks like the wind has died down a bit for now. When George took an umbrella and dashed down the hallway, Shannon and Gorda chased after him, each holding a tool. And then we got to stare at the After they flew out of the room, Genji quietly stretched his hand out to the side of the chessboard. He softly pulled something there towards himself, covering it with his palm. Oh. Indeed. Genji killed his breathing even more than before. As he did, something flashed gold. Oh, rip! From inside an ice pail set on the counter, a small gold butterfly appeared, softly and silently. It was almost as though it had seen George and the rest off, and was trying to secretly chase after them. Ah! It's an unnecessary sound. Excuse me. It happened in an instant. The elegant gold butterfly, flapping its wings, was pinned against the wall by the knife. I didn't. Okay, that's not what I expected. By the knife Genji threw, just like a butterfly in a bug collection. Ugh. I'm very torn about bug collections because on the one hand it's cool to see all the bugs and like it's good for like research purposes and all that, but on the other hand you did murder this insect, and probably not in like a nice way. Well, I don't know, maybe stabbing with a pin would kill it instantly. I don't really, I mean, probably not. And especially like for butterflies, but really for anything, it disturbs me. And I mean, like, even if they killed in another way, like you suffocate them first or something, like that's also disturbing. So I don't know. I'm a bit like, when people are like, I collect bugs, it's like, I don't know if that makes you a psychopath or not. But okay. Anyway. After the gold butterfly bit its wings several times, looking like it was in pain, it accepted the fact that it couldn't break free, became fine gold powder and smoke, and disappeared as though it had melted into water. But I think Bill Bailey has a insect collection, so I don't know if he's a psychopath. Is he a psychopath? I don't think so. Genji still gazed down at the chessboard as though nothing had happened. You know how they say that fish can't feel pain? How do we know this? Wouldn't pain be like one of those things that every living thing can feel because it's like essential to your survival? Otherwise, wouldn't you just not eat? Because you wouldn't like feel the pain of hunger. You'd just be like, oh, not eating is fine. Oh, death feels so wonderful. Wouldn't you? I don't know, I need to rewatch that one House episode. As long as Bill Bailey does it, it's fine. Well, he's a pretty upstanding person, isn't he? He's a pretty good mole model. Yeah, he's a good mole model. Yep. Calls him mass anarchy. Oh my god. Anyway, Genji still gazed down at the chessboard as though nothing had happened. Oh, so he's just like, ding, without even looking. Goodness gracious. Maybe he would think up a brilliant move very soon. And no matter what move he made, his opponent would not be able to respond for all eternity. Even though he knew that, Genji searched for a brilliant move. It must have been the perfect way to kill time during the short period before some fate would be given to him. I don't know, I can think of better ways to pass the time, but sure. He didn't know what result the roulette would bring about, but that decision would be made very soon. No one could interfere with the tumbling roulette ball. Oh, yeah, I guess that is roulette, isn't it? When you say roulette, I think of Russian roulette, so I just think of a gun. But yes, of course, it's the whole red-black thing. The door to the parlour was not only locked, but blocked with a barricade made of sofas and the like. Because of that, Aunt Rosa seemed to suspect that any suspicious person approaching would break in through the window. Sitting on a one-person sofa, is it really a sofa if it's just a one-person thing? I don't think you can have a one-person sofa. I'm pretty sure that's called a chair. But back to the door, she continued to hold onto her gun. I didn't know what was what anymore. And even though my body and mind were worn out, I played with Maria as she wanted. Maria had said it. Beatrice was testing us to see if we could solve the epitaph of the gold, so we had to try and figure out this riddle. In the beginning, I was a little interested and tried to solve it, but I didn't even have a clue where to start on this weird text. I didn't doubt that there was some riddle hidden there, but I seriously doubted I'd be able to suddenly leap to an answer. In the middle part of the epitaph, there were the lines going from the 1st to the 10th twilight, telling us to journey to the Golden Land. On the first twilight, offer the 6 chosen by the key as sacrifices. On the second twilight, those who remain shall tear apart the 2 who are close. It was obvious that this hinted at the first 6 murders that had already occurred in the chapel, and Jessica and Cunnington's murders. If this was being followed, we still had to be prepared for 5 more people to be killed. On the 4th twilight, gouge the head and kill. On the 5th twilight, gouge the chest and kill. On the 6th twilight, gouge the stomach and kill. So this is the same thing every arc, right? So it's interesting that the deaths are the deaths are so different, and even the people involved are so different, and yet the thing is the same. It's interesting because the 2 who were torn apart in the first one, I think, was Shannon and Thingamajig. So, and then this time it was Cunnan and Thingamajig. So that's interesting. Anyway, on the 7th twilight, gouge the knee and kill. On the 8th twilight, gouge the leg and kill. How do you gouge a leg? I mean, you can gouge an eye, but like, how do you gouge... Oh, and I guess you can gouge a stomach, but how do you gouge a knee and gouge a leg? Do you just like take like an ice cream scoop to it and just scoop out the flesh? Is that how you gouge a leg? That's a horrible image. Thanks for that, brain. It's great. Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa Bachan's corpses still haven't been found. However, if this follows the pattern and they're the sacrifices for the 4th and 5th twilights, they'll surely be found in a pitiful state with their head and chest gouged. So, can we expect that 3 more of us will be gouged in the stomach, knee, and leg and killed? Who will it be? I looked around the room, noticing that there were 3 people here, but how should I put it? My emotions seemed paralyzed. Strangely, I didn't feel frightened. It's the adrenaline. As I leaned against the sofa with the top part of my body gazing up at the ceiling, Maria noticed. Apparently, she felt I was slacking off on my riddle solving. She got mad at me for not taking this seriously enough. Hey, Maria. What was it again that Beatrice said she'd do if we solved this? I'm sure the witch wrote in her letter that she'd given up on collecting interest or something abstract like that. I optimistically took that to mean she'd give up on killing the whole family, but was it really written with that meaning? For some reason, I couldn't convince myself that solving the riddle would really save me. I feel like maybe even if we do solve it, we'll just be doing what the culprit wants, and it'll all be a wasted effort. No, that's not true. If you solve the epitaph, Beata's ceremony will end. So after that, no more people will die. Really? Isn't that rule just something she made up? Whoever solves this riddle will probably learn the location of Grandfather's hidden gold. Then she'll definitely go after it and... Ooh, she won't go after it. How can you be so sure? The gold has been Beatrice's from the beginning. She wouldn't go after something that's hers. Then why is Beatrice giving us all these big hints? Not just that. Why did she even set up this? Why did she even set up this game-like thing? Risk is essential for magic. Risk. I don't really know what you mean. I'm not familiar with this board game. For example, in a marathon, do you think a medal anyone can get by running the whole thing is worth the same as the medal given only to the person who gets first? No, I don't. So, what does this mean? In the end, she's just playing with us? Purposefully giving us a chance? Wrong! That's how magic works. No matter how great a work of magic is, it'll always have risks and weak points. No, it must have them. I don't get this stuff you call magic, but if I think about it as a gamble, I can understand a little. If you aren't prepared to lose big, then you can't win big. And the slimmer the chances of winning, the bigger the payoff. That's right. And Beato really did explain the risk of the ceremony to everyone. So, if this riddle is solved, the ceremony will be suspended. After all, if she breaks her promises, there wouldn't be any risk. I just realized Muddy has some blush on her face. If we solve this, will she really keep her promise? Why are flowers beautiful even though they wither? Why is it that an artificial flower isn't beautiful, no matter how elaborate it is, even when you can't tell the difference by looking? That's actually kind of funny. Because artificial flowers are quite horrible. Generally. Humans can bring about miracles by gambling on their deaths. If an undying human existed, they'd have no way of bringing about a miracle. That goes for us, life, the witch, and the ceremony too. If we don't bear risk, we can't succeed in anything. I'm being drowned in my own text. What do we do if we solve the riddle? Should we raise a hand and cry, I got it! Tell the witch our answer and see what she says? I don't know about that. But if we solve it, the ceremony will surely end automatically. You sure know a lot, Maria. Did you learn all of that from Beatrice? Why did I get the sudden Final Fantasy 9 feeling from that one line? It's weird. Ugh! So, if you don't bear risk, nothing can be gained. Is that it? It definitely is the way of the world, but it's sort of in conflict with the chessboard thinking I like so much. Ow. I injured my hand. I'm okay. At least when making moves in chess, players grope for the best move, always trying to avoid risk and hoping for an advantageous turn of events. They don't trust a chance like in gambling. That's right. There's no room for gambling in an intellectual game. And yet this person called Beatrice... Oh. And yet this... so I'm just breaking this chair. And yet this person called Beatrice has created such an outrageous crime. Or maybe a ceremony. While purposefully imposing conditions for her own loss and announcing them to us. In chess, you always play your best move. So by putting yourself in your opponent's position, you can predict their next move. However, we can't be sure that Beatrice's moves are always the best moves possible. I thought she was probably making us focus on the epitaph to fool us in some way, speaking in riddles. But according to Maria, that alone was impossible. She said this was a genuine risk that the witch had taken, and therefore proof that this was a formal ceremony for magic. Proof that this was a formal ceremony for magic. I can't understand this witch called Beatrice. If she's committing the chain of murders with some goal in mind, why did she go to all the trouble of exposing the conditions for her defeat? No matter how I spin the chessboard around and think from my opponent's perspective, I can't understand why she'd give up if this riddle is solved. Isn't it almost as though Beatrice doesn't care whether she wins or loses? Of course chessboard reasoning won't work against an opponent like that. I don't understand. I don't understand. What is Beatrice after that's making her carry out this crime? If she just wanted to massacre us all, she could have done it quietly, without this whole crazy setup. There was no need for that kind-hearted advance notice, all this self-aware closed room stuff, or sorry, I just almost fell off the chair. All this self-aware closed room stuff, or any of the rest. It's all overacting. I've got no clue what it means. Will I be able to understand everything, as long as I keep thinking of Beatrice as a greedy human culprit? If I don't accept her as a witch, will my chessboard thinking be stuck before I've even lined up the pieces? If she really is a witch, and everything Maria said is true, there's only one thing for us to do. The theory building and discord and searching for the culprit has all been pointless. We should have all gathered in the dining hall, combining our knowledge to solve the riddle. By combining the knowledge of that many people, we might have been able to grasp at least a thread of the answer. The greedy humans, each desiring to gain something over their opponents, were getting offered up as sacrifices one by one without gathering their knowledge together. In the end, did the humans get what they deserved? They thought they were using their brains, but they were actually thinking only of their greedy selves, said the chandelier. In the end, chessboard theory is a thinking technique where you protect yourself on your opponent. So greedy people see their greedy selves inside their opponents. Did I say project? I looked lazily at Aunt Rosa. She was probably tired from being under all this tension the whole time. She couldn't sleep, but she kept staring vaguely at some point off in space. Aunt Rosa had announced that we couldn't trust anyone who hadn't been killed. Aunt Rosa's chessboard thinking saw herself inside her opponent. In other words, maybe Aunt Rosa was an isolated woman, unable to trust anyone and unable to let her guard down. Long ago, I think I heard a bit about it from my dad. Aunt Rosa was originally a very obedient child, but her age was too far separated from the other siblings, and they often made conflicting demands of her during their confrontations. Thanks to this, she'd undergone a lot of psychologically harsh experiences in her youth. Ow. Often, when she copied one of her siblings, another sibling would give her a hard time. True, Aunt Rosa said many things today that could be taken as abusive. Could be taken as abusive? You mean were abusive? Are abusive? Stop that. But that means those words were once showered upon her, which is why they were engraved in her vocabulary. That doesn't make it okay, but sure. The many abusive words that she had spoken were also words that should have been showered with in the past. Yes, you just said that, but okay. Now that I think about it, I've had the feeling that her style of speech sometimes has traces of Uncle Kraus or Aunt Eva in it. I'd understood it as them being similar because they're siblings, but maybe it wasn't just that. For the first time, I truly sympathized with Aunt Rosa, whom I'd always assumed was just quiet and gentle. You sympathize with her? Are you sure you should do that? I think she needs help rather than taking it out on her child. Then what about Maria? Maria's been making a certain claim for a while now. If we can solve the riddle the witch displayed to us, the ceremony will be halted, and we'll definitely be saved. And I think she also said that Beatrice will never break a promise. But this is Maria we're talking about. She herself never breaks promises. She has the most innocent heart. So she believes Beatrice also won't break her promises. She's able to believe that. But isn't that just an image of Beatrice in Maria's mind? There's no proof that the real Beatrice always keeps her promises, right? I keep my promises. Oops. If you solve the riddle of the epitaph, you should be able to reach the Golden Land. When you do, the ceremony will end. No more people will die. So you're saying a complete monster like you follows the rules? I won't deny that I am brutal and unjust and a monster. However, I am a witch. Oh, 'tis raining? I use magic. In order to use magic, there are some rules that must be followed. Because I am a witch, I cannot neglect those. You should believe at least that much. So even after all the crazy stuff you've done, you're still telling me to believe at least in the rules? I do play tricks. Of course I also deceive people. I'm no different from humans in that regard. But not once have I disregarded a promise I've broken. Why would stream crime you? What about humans? Do you always keep your promises? Since we have catchphrases like keep your promises, it's hard to imagine that we always follow them properly. From my perspective, humans are the truly selfish monsters. There's nothing as dubious as a human's promise. Even I sometimes make contracts with humans, but you wouldn't imagine how strict an agreement must be made just to grant a single foolish wish. If there's even a small loophole, they'll immediately say something like, increase the number of wishes to 100, or go turn yourself into a bean. Go turn yourself into a bean. There's the thing Dad always says. There's this thing Dad always says. He says there's nothing as scary as contracts. According to him, it's only natural that people who sign without reading them thoroughly will get chewed to the bone. He's made a killing through vice. Imagine it. When people are born, they know nothing of fraud. They get it from somewhere. And so they learn it. Yes, the crimes of the human world where people must press up against each other. Let me see, I've heard that from a witch somewhere. Oh well. I'm not as heartless as you think, you see. Liar! You killed so many people! And you did it in such horrible ways, too. How could you not be heartless? You say you keep your promises? Don't say stuff like that. I won't accept you. Ever. I believe my only way to resist you is never giving up on that. I see. So, you're saying this eternal torture will be the same for me? Perhaps. 1,000 years is a long time. Maybe a witch's true strength is decided not by their magical power, but by the strength of their endurance. Yes, I can accept how terrifying Lady Byrne is. Damn you, babbling on and on about this incomprehensible stuff. Let's quickly get back to this eternal torture. Let's quickly get back to this eternal torture. I'm prepared to stick around for 1,000 years or even 10,000 years. Good, good. It looks like you've regained some of your will to fight. It would be boring otherwise. Come now, don't you often see it in competitive games? What's that noise? Sometimes one player intrudes on their opponent's territory, but the opponent is so weak that it's a bit of an anticlimax. So the first person loses on purpose to extend the game until the last round, during which they get serious and shower their opponent with blows, right? I don't get what that means. It's the same as wine. If you don't let it age well, it won't sparkle. You're the same as that wine. I'll carefully make you age. Oh, okay. I'll raise you to be the best alcohol to adorn my elegant time. So don't give up after only this much. Keep on denying me. After all, as long as you don't accept me, I'm nothing more than a fleeting illusion. Oh, okay. Hello. What does mine say? What? No matter how many times I see it, it's awful. I truly sympathize. Shannon-san, please get the key. Even though she's dead, Madam is a lady. I cannot touch her. Of course, make me do all the gross shit. Shannon nodded sharply, her expression filled with a sense of duty. George, Gorda, and Shannon had broken a suitable window and were inside the chapel. Yes, I see that. Since they really hadn't wanted to break one, they'd searched for another way in, just in case. But in the end, after proving once again that there was no way they could slip in through, it only became more obvious that this chapel was a mysterious closed room. Inside the chapel, time had stopped ever since the last time they'd left it. Even George wasn't able to approach that gruesome Halloween party again. It was only natural. It reminded him again of the sadness of losing both parents at once. Of course it does, you don't have to explain why. And Gorda, thinking of the possibility that those corpses might have changed in some horrible way now that half a day had passed, didn't want to let George get near them. Shannon followed Gorda's instructions and approached the party table. Normally, Shannon might have resented having another dirty job forced on her, but now she could truly understand Gorda's mental state. Even though Gorda had prodigious skill, he'd gotten dragged into trouble, losing his job and ending up left out in the streets before Natsuhi gave him a new life. Though it had been just a casual employment decision for Natsuhi, Gorda must have thought it a turning point in his fate. Those around Gorda could see that he felt a special kind of loyalty to Natsuhi, so he probably didn't want to lose that feeling, even after her death. Candy. Now that half a day had passed, the bodies of Natsuhi and the rest had changed completely. You know, at the bottom left there, that blood spatter? I thought it was a tentacle for a second. Was it Octo here? Hey, the whole blood spatter kind of looks like a dragon a little bit. Like with its wings out. Small bugs sniffing out the smell of death had started to gather. It really wasn't something you'd want to look at directly. Madam, excuse me. Because of her long experience as a servant, Shannon had an idea of which pocket Natsuhi kept kept the key to her room in. It would probably be this pocket. Her guess didn't fail her. Just by touching the outside of the pocket, she was immediately able to feel it. It's here. The key to Madam's room. Shannon held the key up high, showing the others that it had been found. As George and Gorda watched her, their eyes opened wide. That wasn't the expression Shannon was expecting, so it startled her. Ah! Rip! After all, Shannon hadn't noticed. George and Gorda, watching from afar, noticed it first. After all, when Shannon had held the key up high, a blizzard of gold leaf had seeped up from around the table. Oh dear. Ooh, this music. They were countless gold butterflies. It was the first time George had seen them, so it might have looked like some kind of illusion, but Gorda already knew. He knew that those gold butterflies were far from beautiful, and that they would bring about some kind of misfortune. Misfortune, that's putting it lightly. And that gold swelled, trying to suck Shannon in. Shannon, son! Run! Huh? Kia! Sorry. That was loud. Shannon also realized that gold butterflies were trying to swallow her up. She ran steadily, her expression still shocked. As she did, the gold butterflies danced around her all at once. They grouped together. They tried to swallow her up. Shannon! Damn it, what is this? Are these the gold butterflies you guys were talking about? Outside! Quickly! You bastards! Damn it! Damn it! George and Gorda rushed up to Shannon, driving off the cloud of butterflies. And while the butterflies were scattered, they ran towards the broken window. However, they needed a good footing to get out the window, which was surrounded by shards of broken glass. When they had entered, there had been enough time to prepare for that, but now there was none. Rip. Let's go out through the door. There's no time to look for a footing. I mean, it won't open. It's stuck. Give it to me. Damn this piece of crap. George Summer! George Summer, quick! I don't know who's talking! Damn it! Oh, it's him then. George Summer, quickly! Damn it! Don't take me lightly! What is this noise? Gordo took off his jacket, swinging it around and scattering the group of— oh, just put it on the glass! Oh, okay. Scattering the group of butterflies— like, sweep it with your thing. The saying he was outnumbered would be a real understatement. It was doubtful that it even bought them a short amount of time. George struggled with the broken handle. Its age showed and it didn't turn well. I can't leave it to strength. It needs the right angle or there's some trick to it. George Summer! Damn it! You monsters! At that moment, Gordo saw it. He was seen by it. In other words, their eyes met. On top of the party table, no, with the stained glass behind it, floating, laughing, was the figure of the witch. He saw the figure of the laughing witch in the center of the golden whirlwind, with the gold butterflies fluttering about at the ready. Beatrice! It should have been Gordo's first meeting with her, but he knew her at a glance. Just like the other servants had said, this was certainly the witch of the portrait herself. It's almost time for dinner, is it not? I am the host of this mansion now, so I must give you a warm reception before your wonderful dinner. And look, we even have 3 people fit to order. My, how truly, truly convenient. It's open! Oh, or was it him? I don't know who was making the sound. Gordo-san, quickly! Beatrice Summer. Huh? What's this music? Are you sure it's a good idea to just stand there? If you think this place will make a fitting cemetery for yourselves, then be my guests. I must praise your spirit for wanting to stay by your former master's sides and serve them even after death. The golden whirlwind that wrapped around the witch burst. It was like an evil hand had literally spread its fingers and was trying to attack them. The cloud of gold butterflies attacked with a fluttering sound. Flutter, 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 flutter. Flutter, flutter, flutter. Hurry! We can't stay here! George's voice brought Shannon and Gordo back to their senses. Standing here now would make them like frogs getting stared down by a snake. The snakes eat frogs. They had to resist. They had to fight this incarnation of the new, brutal and frightening order in which Rokkenzuma had been enveloped. What is this music? It's beautiful. There was no time to take out their umbrellas. No, I should think not. Oh no, it's the rain. The 3 of them dashed out into the pouring rain. The 3 of them never realized because they didn't turn around that the gold butterflies apparently couldn't handle the rain too well. And this hampered their ability to chase after the humans. That's funny. It's like, God damn it, why is it raining? The 3 people ran from their golden pursuers and flew into the mansion. How nice, how nice. It wouldn't be as fun any other way. Why don't you just stay in the rain? No? Okay. They unlock the door and dash— oh, because they don't know. But yeah. They unlock the door and dash into the room. A bit of the scent from Natsuhi's favorite— I totally misread that. Favorite gentle incense remained in there. However, there was no time to let that calm them now. No, I should— oh my god. Where is it? You said it was in a treasure box, right? It's just a story I heard. I never heard exactly where it was. I think it'll probably be in her dresser or next to the bed. Shannon's womanly sense of— oh my god. Shannon's womanly sensibilities led her to conclude that because men apparently are just like, I don't know where you keep trinkets, I don't understand how a woman's bedroom works. But next to the bed there was only an incense burner, a half-read novel, and glasses. If anything, it would be more like her servant sensibilities, if she was like, you know, if she went in there to tidy up and stuff. However, the dresser was elegant and had many drawers, and it would be understandable if she'd kept some of her valuables there. Natsuhi, sorry. He began to violently open each one of the drawers. He had to hurry. He couldn't actually hear footsteps, but he had the feeling that the witch was approaching. He had the feeling that her laugh was approaching. Oh no, her laugh. He emptied the drawers one by one and examined their contents. Every small box of makeup looked like a treasure box, and the amount of effort it would take to inspect all of them made him feel a little dizzy. Maybe it's this box. It's locked and I can't open it. At a glance it looked slightly larger than a music box. When shaken it rustled as though various small objects were inside. But it was locked and didn't open. Does it really matter? Can't they just put all these boxes in front of them? Or around them? Normally you'd hide the key somewhere nearby, though some people would always carry it on their person. That little bottle there looks like it has a moustache. It's like, yes. I don't know. There's no choice. Break it. But we can't do it with force, right? We might break the mirror inside. Could there be a tool to pry it open? Anybody got a lockpick? Damn it! Look at the intense Tetris music. It's beautiful. Gorda looked all over the room, trying to see if there was some tool that they could use, and he noticed the door which had been left open ever since they'd entered. He approached the door to close it and saw the abominable shadows of people approaching from beyond the darkness in the hall. No, it wasn't shadows of people, because they weren't human at all. George Summer, hurry! Gorda's voice trailed off. It was the shock of seeing a procession of those not of this world. He was a servant, so he knew all the servants working for the Ushinomiya family, but he didn't know about these. However, they were definitely servants, and not servants working for Ushinomiya Kinzo or Ushinomiya Kraus. Ah, scary fucking face. Oh god. These new servants who worked for the new master of the mansion, the Golden Witch Beatrice, had goat heads and bright red boiled eyes of lava. It's fucking horrifying. They're like more horrifying than Beatrice. As the new master laughed loudly and trimly directed 6 of the new servants, he saw them approach, piercing the darkness as they came. I heard that. Oh, thank you for the donation. Okay. I think I have to change my... Maybe I have to change my little thing. My donation currency or the way it shows up or something. Because I don't work in euros anymore. What was it translated from? Translated. Ah. That's interesting. I do all this combination stuff because I changed my PayPal now that because when you live in a different country, you have to have a PayPal account like in that country, which is really annoying. So there's like all this stuff I still have to do on it to accept payments properly, but I mean, like, it'll still be there. I just have to like go, yeah, just have to actually probably have. But I mean, any currency is okay. This new PayPal account has it has like a balance for US dollars, euros, and New Zealand dollars. All of it's good. I think these days it doesn't really matter what currency exists. As the new master laughed loudly and trimly directed six of the new servants. He saw them approach, piercing the darkness as they came. But thank you very much. Did I say thank you? Thank you. Of course, she was clad in the gold butterflies that were her symbol. Gorda hurriedly closed the door and locked it. Oh wait, I didn't. That's what I was gonna do. I wasn't actually doing it to see then. I was doing it to see the comment. Oh, I'm glad you're back. Oh, me too. Me too. At least for this week. However, just as he locked it, it returned to normal, just as though a spring or something had knocked it back. Okay, what is this sound? It gave the— wait a second. Oh, okay. Oh, so this is from Gorda's side of the door we're looking at this. Okay. What is happening? Oh, no? Can I like... There we go. However, just it gave the illusion some pranks to be on the door was unlocking it every time he locked it. They couldn't have reached the other side of the door yet. So who was doing it? And how? It almost felt like playing with a broken toy. Click, boing, click, boing. Oh, it's him. Well, maybe he's making this sound. It won't lock. Even if I lock it, it unlocks. What's going on? Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh, did you think a lock would stop me? Did you think the door to their room could hold back that room's new master? It was like the witch could see Gorda's frantic effort through the door. Even now, the footsteps continued to approach. And were not just their footsteps, but even their breath could be heard. Gorda gave up on the lock and slammed into the door, locking it using his own large body. George Summer! Quickly, quickly, quickly! George Summer, what about this? A letter opener? That's better. Let me have it. The fountain pen isn't working. George took it and once again dug into the crack under the lid of the treasure box. It looks like it's working. Quickly! Quickly! The pressure from across the door grew even stronger. Gorda screamed. This wasn't a war cry during a test of strength. He was terrified. He was simply terrified that nothing but a single wooden door was stopping him from touching something not of this world. But he was still lucky. He wasn't touching the things directly, because they were on the other side of the door. So, if he were to touch them directly, Gorda's cry would surely turn from something brave into a pathetic, piercing scream, and therefore one that was more real. Ah! Gorda couldn't believe what was happening right before his eyes. Coming through the door, an arm was slipping straight through the wood like it was water, as though doing this was the most natural thing in the world, and it rubbed the back of Gorda's head, as he frantically tried to hold the door shut. It slid up his arm. His arm to his chest and then up to his chin. By now, Gorda's scream wasn't even audible anymore. He could hear a sweet whispering voice from across the door. This fucking creepy sun fueling sound. It wasn't coming from the witch, but it sounded like a young woman. However, that didn't change the fact that it came from someone not of this world. I don't know what her voice was. So cute. Hey, you see it, right? Your life flashing before your eyes. Let me know when it's over, okay? I hope Octatiggy's neighbours cannot hear me. Thanks. It's over already, isn't it? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. Alright. Is she trying to touch his chin? She is, isn't she? That lewd arm burst. Lewd? Then they heard the sound of something jumping around the room at an incredible speed. They didn't know what it was. Incredibly fast, small like steel or maybe a beetle. When it buried itself right in the center of Gorda's chest and stopped, they realized for the first time that its true form was something like a stake with a strange design on it. Gorda's large body shook, bent backwards, and fell over. As it did, the door opened softly, even though no one was pushing it, welcoming in the new master of this room. It looked almost as though the door itself had accepted her. It sounds like a D&D song. That would be a hard song to do D&D. I mean, wait, did I say D&D? I mean, not D&D. I mean, DR. Wait, is it DR? No, wait. Oh, DDR. There you go. The goat attendants came in one after another, 6 of them. Then that witch came in and the gold butterflies came in. The room was wrapped in a blizzard of gold leaf, which fell and piled up, turning it more and more into a world of gold. Shannon, the roulette has chosen you and George. Thank me for your day of release. Do you have any regrets? You don't, do you? Receiving an engagement ring from the man you fell for and then being killed before spending your first night together? That hardly counts as a regret at all, right? You wanted him to hold you, didn't you? You wanted him to teach you a woman's joy, right? What the fuck does that mean? Cute! Ah, no, Shannon. You're dribbling, see? Your regret is dripping down from your mouth. Oh, that was weird. The music, like, looped. Okay. I was like, oh, I took too long. Then it just stopped. I can see it dripping down from your mouth, Shannon. Oh, Jesus. It was the sound. Oh, thank God. It was the sound of the lid to the treasure box breaking open. When George turned it over, accessories, charms, various small objects that Natsuki had treasured when she was a girl fell out. Mixed in with that was a pouch that stood out from the rest. Thank God. He picked it up and was immediately sure. This was it. I found it. This is it. So close. Yet so far. I love that phrase. I use it all the time. Die. Damn it! All at once, the gold butterflies attacked George, who was hurriedly trying to remove the contents of the pouch. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, what is happening? At that time, a bright red flash seemed to light up the room for an instant. The red flash seemed to cut a hole in the cloud of gold butterflies raging around the room, drawing a circle with Shannon at the center. So, the resulting scene looked truly divine. Almost as though a single streak of light had cut through the clouds in this world of gold. Shannon turned into it. George, who was curled in a ball, trying to protect himself from the group of butterflies, didn't have a clue what was going on. What? Oh, Jesus Christ. I think she did turn into Id. Then he noticed that Shannon was standing guard in front of him, shielding him. As she glared at the witch and the rest with a serious face she'd never shown him before. Oh, Shannon. Oh. I'd forgotten. You're another sample of Kinzo's outstanding... Oh, wait, this is her. Oh, okay. I'd forgotten. You're another sample of Kinzo's outstanding furniture. And you've matured much more than Kanon. Ooh, what's his face? How could you do that to Kanon-kun? I don't mean killing him. How could you erase his remains and even try to disgrace his honor? Come now, Shannon. Is that why you're mad? If you're lonely because Cannon hasn't been around, just let me know, and I'll let you see him whenever you like. Oh, hello. When the witch snapped her fingers, one of the 6 goat attendants glittered gold and changed into Cannon. It was definitely a sight to make one doubt their eyes. It was definitely Cannon's face, but his eyes were fucking scary. However, in those eyes, the glint of Cannon's integrity was nowhere to be seen. They were the hazy eyes of furniture that only obeyed the orders of the witch. George couldn't understand the scene right before his eyes, and he finally understood why Gorda and the rest had been unable to talk about what they'd seen in the servant room. Oh, there was a strong gust of wind that scared me. Are you enjoying this? Yes, I am. It's always fun to reunite a pair that have been torn apart by death. After all, I get to enjoy tearing them apart by death, reuniting them, and then tearing them apart again. So, Cannon, go and play with your sister. This is like me writing a book. It's like, the angst, and then they reunite, and then the angst. Is it possible for organs to play happy music? I don't know, actually. So, Cannon, go and play with your sister. If she knocks you about, let her see you suffer with all the anguish you can manage. Oh my god. Oh, hello. From the imposter Cannon's arm, a strangely shining curve extended. He planned to tear Shannon apart with that. With a single stroke, he would attack Shannon, who still hadn't prepared her heart, and... I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you for dishonoring the dead not just once, but twice. Oh god, her face! Enough babbling. Go get killed by your brother, Shannon. Sure, I'm sure you'll bear witness to a wonderful dream. Isn't she protected by the big red thing? No? Okay. Oh! The imposter Cannon certainly seemed to lunge at Shannon during several purple cues. What? What is a cuve? Several purple curves, but when he flew at her, it was as though some kind of invisible wall. It was as though some kind of invisible wall that we all can see had been placed in front of her. Yes, the wall repelled the imposter. Ew, what is this sound? Leaving a bright red ripple on its surface. Oh, so now we get the ripple. Okay. I mean, like now. Well, I mean. Ripple has been there the whole time, but like, okay, that's what that is. No, it didn't repel him. It smashed him. It knocked him back, turning him into golden dust, into little bits, scattering him. I didn't even say cube, I said cuve with a V. It makes even less sense. Yes, she was attacked by game cubes, yeah. That foolish furniture who had taken Cannon's form and even disgraced his honor after death broke into countless gold butterflies, and then those butterflies themselves broke into pieces, and those pieces were broken into pieces until they were no longer butterflies, but a golden splash that faded away. Shannon. George-son, please don't move from that spot. This reminds me of the first time I heard the word smithereens when I was little, and I was trying to figure out how many pieces would smithereens be, and it just like broke my mind. Like, I just didn't get it, because it's like, this isn't a number. I don't understand. Like, how much is smithereens? I don't know, I had issues, apparently. But this, where it's like, pieces broken to pieces, and those pieces broken to more pieces, like, this kind of reminds me of... It's like, just constant infinity. I don't want to shift the central axis. Well, this is certainly a surprise. So, though your face makes it look as though you wouldn't hurt a fly, you can display such power? I see. So that spirit mirror is lending you strength. But you don't have the tools or the time to draw out its true power. I won't let you have either of those. Oh, that was a sad cackle. No, those bad didn't sound like a horse. The spirit mirror George gripped had let out a divine glow, displaying a strength powerful enough not to submit to wicked forces, but that glow was no match for the witch's sinister nature. This is why furniture can be frightening. That feeling like unexpectedly stubbing your little toe on the corner— oh god, that's the worst. On the corner of a cabinet. Oh, it hurts. Oh, my feet. Yes, this is why furniture can be frightening. Oh, I guess she's not wrong. Oh my god. You furniture. I am not furniture, and right now you seem very pitiful to me. What? Oh. What did this furniture who hasn't lived even 100 years just say to a 1,000-year witch? You're a very pitiful person. Of course 2 people in love will have regrets when they're separated. But they'll feel none of the kind of regret you're hoping for. You dare to speak, furniture? Have you forgotten the days when you were so desperate to be tied to George that you licked my shoes? Oh, God. I'm not sure who's talking. Living with love and crawling through the muck is what humans do. If you sneer and look down on them for that, then you're far inferior to them. Especially now, I pity you. How precious is it for a loving couple when they bring their love to fruition by sleeping together on their first night? Oh, okay. It does have meaning. It definitely does. Because you had sex the first... okay. But it's completely different from what you're saying. It means something so sacred. I don't think that's what it means, but okay. It means something so sacred that one such as you has no right to speak of it wickedly. So, I no longer have any regrets. George-san and I have sworn our love to each other. As proof, I accepted his ring. With that, our eternal vows were completed. It's not really how weddings work, but okay. No matter how you torture us with your wicked magic and your malice, you cannot disgrace eternity. If this game had a word cloud, would the biggest word be furniture? Huh. Don't speak in cheap ideals like some poet. Love is lust, totally meaningless unless you're sleeping together. Men are mere flies and maggots that get drawn to your female... They get drawn to your female scent and crowd around you. Do you still not understand that at your age? Are you one of those radical feminists? Who are not really feminists? You'll despair the very first time you witness the dark lust of that glasses man behind you. I think she's already experienced his lust. Okay. You'll be crushed, shocked, dumbfounded, stupefied, and it's all useless, Shannon. Yeah, that's enough talk out of you, you furniture. But how do you think you are talking like that? No matter how beautiful you try to make love sound, in the end it's a fraud, because love is filthy filth. Don't people become humans when they realize that? Die, you trash furniture, furniture scrap. I'll turn you into a filthy maggot. Then we'll see whether that glasses guy still loves you. I'll show you that this guy's only had his eyes on your flesh. Die, you piece of crap. Don't tell me about your love. She sounds like a 10-year-old who's jealous. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. What are you laughing about? The invisible column of light with Shannon at the center started to have bright red ripples drawn all over it at once. The wall did its best to withstand the unseeable malice that tried to corrode in on them from all directions. What? Oh god, her face. What? Do you actually think you're resisting? You're insignificant. You're frail. Just like your cheap ideals. Just a frail pretense. You're just hiding what you don't want to see by covering it with a veil. Do you still not understand that's why you're furniture? See, it's being erased! Crunch, crack, crunch, smack, snap. How thin, how shameful. Parmigiano Reggiano would be harder to cut through than your frail resistance. Is that some kind of pasta? Ha 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 ha. The golden windstorm that covered the room gradually began to shave the walls off the column that protected Shannon and George. The bright red, I thought they said nipples. The bright red nipples frantically drew a resisting button. Oh, that's a very different game. But that just turned it into a red wall of despair that began to wrap the two of them up. I think Ultrategu's house is a bad influence on me. George Summer, I'm sorry. It was too much for me. After all. Yeah, thank you. You fought for my sake. Maybe if George had been fighting too, we wouldn't have this problem. He's just like standing there. That alone makes me happy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hello, seizures. Seizures. The round wall that had once protected them was assaulted and covered with a curve of bright red ripples as it seemed to scream, and it began to suck the two of them up and said, Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, good God. George, son, can I ask a favor? Shannon grasped George's hand behind her, so George hugged her shoulders just as strongly. Wait, she's holding his hand, but he's hugging her? How many hands does he have? Are you sure it's his hand you're holding? What is it? In the end, please let me hear you say I love you. Yeah. Sayo, I will forever. I knew it! I knew it! Why'd you have to take so long? Jesus Christ. Why did you have to take so long? Don't you know how things work? You should have just gone, I love you! Oh my goodness, look at, what is this, like, zoom that's happening here? Goodness gracious. Oh my god. Oh. Sitting is hard, you know. My butt hurts. Oh. After Genji finished his late meal, he went out to the nighttime rounds. Went out to do the nighttime rounds inside the mansion, I mean. He had eaten some reheated soup that Gorda had made, along with some random leftovers from the refrigerator. Those were all things Gorda had made himself, and were, of course, delicious. Delicious. He had half-heartedly gone to ask Rosa and the others what they would do for dinner. They had been yelled at by a voice telling him that the canned food they had would be enough, and the door wasn't even open for him. So ironically, the servant Genji was able to eat a more delicious meal. Oh, okay. Wait a second. What now? Hold on, go back. Shush! Okay. But why was it that Genji wasn't afraid to do the rounds all by himself, even though all of those crimes had been committed and many people had already met a brutal end? Judging by his appearance as he carried out his usual tasks without a trace of fear, as though everything was normal. You might think of all the horrible events that day had been no more than a You might think all of the horrible events that day had been you might think all of the horrible events that day had been no more than a dream or an illusion. There we go. Was he taking a philosophic view, or had he just accepted his fate? Genji must have considered it a virtue that, when the fate that awaited him was unavoidable, he carried out his duty systematically until the last moment. The depths of his heart would probably remain hidden for all eternity, unless he spoke of them himself. He had returned his master key to Rosa, so the places he could reach were extremely limited. All he could do was walk around the hallways, checking to make sure all the windows were closed. That probably made his rounds go a lot faster than usual. At the sound of a reserved knock, sorry, I'm here. Hold on. I'm just refreshing my page. Okay. At the sound of a reserved knock, Aunt Rosa, who had been falling into a doze, jumped and woke up, pointing the barrel of the gun at the door as she yelled, "Who is it?" I was napping on a sofa, and that voice also brought me back to reality. Rosa-sama. Oh, Rosa-sama. It is I, Genji. Do you have some business? Don't worry about opening the door. Tell us from there. Yes, ma'am. In that case, forgive me for speaking in this fashion. I have found Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa's corpses. What did you say? I see. I didn't remember her voice either, which is kind of dumb. Very well. Let's go and check them. Until I see the corpses, I won't believe anyone. Ugh. It's okay, Battler. If you stay with me, it'll definitely be okay. Maybe my face seemed to be darkened with anxiety. Maria grasped my hand with her small hand and spoke softly, trying to give me courage. Since it was Aunt Rosa's job to ready the gun and stand guard, it fell to me to remove the barricade of sofas. When I finished, I took a backwards glance at Aunt Rosa, who was pointing the barrel of the gun over my shoulder, and opened the door. Genji-san, where are their corpses? In the courtyard. I shall guide you. Battler-kun, wait! Just in case, let's check the doors and windows of this room. Wait a second. Aunt Rosa called me to a halt to prevent me from going on ahead, and began to carefully check the locks on each of the windows. But those locks had already been checked once. It felt kind of unpleasant, as though she suspected that I might have secretly unlocked them and she wasn't looking. No, maybe Aunt Rosa was right to be this cautious. Though it was called a courtyard, it wasn't really a pretty place you could take a walk in, like the Rose Garden. On the contrary, Since it was surrounded by the mansion on all sides, it made you feel a little uncomfortable, as though it was telling you that there would be no escape from this mansion no matter where you tried to run. On the other hand, that meant that even though we could still hear the violent winds, the wind itself was blocked. Genji-san held out an umbrella, but Aunt Rosa ignored him. She was probably hinting that the gun took 2 hands, and it would be dangerous if she took the umbrella. We didn't need Genji-san pointing for us to notice. Right in the center of the courtyard, we could see where Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san lay. Aunt Rosa entered the courtyard without even opening an umbrella, so Genji and I also entered the courtyard without opening one. Only Maria opened hers. Maria, is this you know what?
Ooh, it's the 7th and the 8th twilights.
I see. Certainly, just as Genji-san and the others said, there are horrible wounds on their necks. Their cuts are quite sharp, almost as though they were sliced with a katana or something. Those gaping wounds on their necks definitely made me want to avert my eyes, but after seeing that Halloween party in the chapel, even though they looked horrible, they were no longer enough to make me feel sick. Yeah. More importantly, our gazes fell to their legs, to Dr. Nanjo's knee, to Kumasawa's son's ankle. Driven into each of them was something like a knife or a stake with a demonic design. They must have been the same thing as the thing that had pierced Jessica's back. What is this? It's just like what happened to Jessica-chan. Welcome to the stream, Riggins. Is this supposed to be some kind of occult ceremony, I wonder? I do not know. The last time I saw their bodies, there was nothing like these. Maybe it was done after they were carried out of the servant room. The one stuck into Dr. Nanjo's knee was still standing erect, but the one that had been thrust into Kumasawa-san's ankle might have been a little shallower. It had come out and fallen over. So by looking at the one that had fallen over for the first time, I realized that it wasn't a knife, but something like a stake. My accent's coming back? No, you lie to me. And I'm not sick anymore, but I'm a little stuffy. Just a little bit. Its full length was probably about 30 centimeters. It was probably made out of bronze or iron or something of the sort. I think you're just not used to hearing anymore. Even without touching it, I could tell it had some weight to it. It was composed of a grip and a cone-shaped part, and it was obviously made to be a piercing weapon. Maybe it was like a miniature version of those lances the Western knights used on horseback. The spiral-shaped ditches in it made it also look like a small drill. However, the grip had an occult design modelled off a demon or something. So instead of a weapon used in war, it felt like something that would be used in a ceremony to offer up living sacrifices. Uh-huh, sure. Yeah. There's no mistake. They're meant to be sacrifices. Oh, they're meant to be sacrifices.
On the 7th twilight, gouge the knee and kill. On the 8th twilight, gouge the leg and kill.
Wait a sec. That means they've left out the 4th, 5th, and 6th twilights. Could it be... Of course. Why is Genji-san alone? If something like this has happened, why aren't George Aniki, Goro-san, and Shannon-chan here? Why was Genji-san alone? Dun, dun, dun. What's going on? Where did George-kun and the other two go? They said they wanted to search for something in Madame Natsuhi's room, and they left. They've not returned yet. Oh, this music again. Yes. What did you say? You say they left, but when was that? 2 or 3 hours ago, I believe. No way. Why didn't you tell us something that... Oh, why didn't you tell us something that... Wait, no. Why didn't you think they were suspicious? There must be at least one servant on standby at all times. It was my duty to wait for orders until they returned. And now he's a suspect. Was Genji-san really this much of a robot? This is bad, this is bad, it's really bad. Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san were killed like this, which means that 3 people have already been killed. We ran towards Aunt Natsuhi's room, maybe not, with a touch of anxiety and just as much resignation. Before we even saw the inside of Aunt Natsuhi's room, we were forced to resign ourselves to a certain fact. On that door was a bizarre scribble. No. Filth? Ew. When you say filth, do you mean like poo? Anyway, the room wasn't in an ordinary state. Oh, this music. Oh, there's music! And even without opening the door, we could imagine what we'd find inside. On the face of the door, how should I say it? Handprints, done heavily with the same red paint as the magic circles from before. Had banged on the door, scratched at it, dirtied it. It looked like the aftermath of a kindergartner playing in the mud. I didn't know what it could mean. The bright red paint that had been slathered on was dripping down, and even though no one said it, it made us think of blood. Damn it, Amy, Stu. I don't need to finish that. Genji-san, please open it. Aunt Rosa held her gun up high and ordered Genji-san to open the door. She didn't really have... Okay. Genji-san approached it without seeming particularly troubled by that stuff on it and turned the knob, but immediately turned around, shaking his head. It was locked. At that moment, there was only one person in this mansion who could lock and unlock doors at will. Aunt Rosa. This time, Genji-san asked Aunt Rosa to unlock the door, instead of the other way around. After frowning slightly for a second, Aunt Rosa handed me a master key and told me to open the door. Batlacon, would you open it for me with this? Just trusting Genji-san with something like that wouldn't... Aunt Rosa glared at me intensely. Getting into a fight here would only make the mood turn even more sour. Without talking back anymore, I approached that creepy door and tried the knob. It didn't open. It was definitely the resistance of the lock. I stuck the master key into the keyhole. Clunk. There was a slight resistance. Aunt Rosa told me to be on my guard, and I opened the door without really guarding myself in any way. Okay. I totally ignored her. And then, there was a scene laid out before us that didn't betray my expectations at all. That was so desensitized. Oh, the little face. Horrible. As I thought, it's a reproduction of the 4th, 5th, and 6th Twilights. Ooh! The inside of the room looked as though a robber had just broken in. Drawers had been flung open, pulled out, and had their contents thrown about all over the place, leaving the room so cluttered you'd never believe it belonged to the methodical Aunt Natsuhi. But the very first thing that caught our eyes was Gordo-san's corpse lying face down right in front of the door. Ooh. Right in the center of his chest, almost as though it had been stuck there to finish off a vampire, was one of those demon stakes from before. Steak. Exactly how far could it have reached after being stuck that deeply into his chest? Just imagining it would make anyone's chest hurt. Yep, that's pretty much how I feel right now. Wasn't gouging the chest the 5th Twilight? Ooh! Maria grabbed my hand. Her expression looked just like normal. Then maybe she really was afraid of the aura in this room where 3 corpses lay. I thought they said where 3 cosplayers lay. And along the wall farthest into the room, George Aniki lay dead. This time, one of those stakes had been rammed right into the center of his stomach. Wasn't gouging the stomach the 6th Twilight? Oh geez, hello. Shannon's corpse was face down in front of the dresser, lying in a sea of blood. There's not really a sea of blood, but sure. It's nice when you can, when they actually draw the corpse, it's nice. Had she seen her own face at the end in that horribly broken mirror stained with blood? Because she was lying that way, I couldn't see her face, but I could guess even without seeing it. Nearby in the sea of blood she lay in, a demon stake had fallen. Only the 4th Twilight was left. It is! They're so elegantly drawn. So much of this game is not drawn, which is fine. It like leaves it to your imagination, but it's nice when you can really see it. Except for the candy thing. That's unnecessary. Gouge the head and kill. Maybe, oh god, maybe my heart was totally worn out and dead, even though I knew it was wrong. I lifted her head. Okay, we don't need a drawing of this though. I lifted her head and checked. And I confirmed that my guess had been right on the mark. There was a gaping hole in Shannon Chan's head, and the insides were dripping out. I wonder if the reason it's not all drawn is like to help keep the ratings down or something. Like to, you know, like the rating, you know, like people of a certain age can only watch it or whatever. Yeah. Not only that, but you could even see inside her. That's great. No, that's good. I need this image, thanks. After seeing that, I finally realized I was doing something wrong. Although, a lot of your head is skull, so is the skull crushed as well? Or is it like when you try to get meat out of a steak, you know? No, not a steak, like out of a lamb chop. You know how you have like the little bone? That part always disturbed me so much, by the way. Is it like that? I can't tell if I'm hungry or disturbed right now. I immediately averted my eyes. You're welcome. Oh no! Wait! No, I accidentally clicked on. Hold on. I immediately averted my eyes, but by now it was probably pointless. Okay. Is that Beatrice there? Oh no, it's Rosa. Hey, Batrakan, you mustn't touch anything until the police come. What do you think you're doing touching it? What will you do if our precious evidence on the scene gets disturbed? I don't think it really matters because everybody's DNA is going to be on everything because it's a house everybody has been staying in for a long time. Okay. Aunt Rosa got violently mad at me and even tugged at the back of my collar. I mean, it's probably Bessie doesn't see anyway, but that's not the point. I tottered limply and fell on my butt, grazing dimly up at the ceiling. Maria.
Ooh.
With this, even the 8th twilight is over. What was the 9th twilight again?
On the 9th twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive.
I see. After this, the Golden Witch Beatrice will be revived. What then? On the final 10th twilight?
On the 10th twilight, at Journey's End, you shall attain to the power of the Golden Land's treasures, once and for the last time. Very soon, the door to the Golden Land will be opened. Very soon.
The witch shall be revived and none shall be left alive, huh? We're gonna die now? Or does this mean the ceremony of sacrifices is over, and that now, at Journey's End, we'll reach the Golden Land? Oh, I thought he was just being like, kind of like, just like, emotionless, but okay. What is our journey? We've spent the whole day trying to find the culprit, spinning our heads as we tried to break out of the situation. And we haven't gotten anywhere. It's like they say, thinking stupid is no better than sleeping. Did they say that? That's right. We spent the whole day burning ourselves up with a hatred and paranoia. And we were so sure we could only trust the dead. That we came all the way here just to confirm these 3 deaths with our own eyes. If we're really like this, why? Why should we be able to make it to the Golden Land? Oh, little crying face. That's right. If we couldn't, that's right. If we couldn't resolve any of our problems anyway, it would have been so much better if we'd locked ourselves up the whole time without thinking at all. Grandfather's the wisest of us. Well, he is the oldest. He's been shut up in his room since yesterday, without any contact with anyone. That was the right decision. Grandfather was the most correct of us all.
It's okay, Battler. If you're with me, you'll be okay. The witch is very fickle, and she's a terrifying being who might kill humans partly for fun sometimes. However, if you're with me, you'll be okay. So don't be afraid.
Look at him. Thank you. Even if you're just saying it to console me, I'm glad. After Aunt Rosa finished investigating their corpses, she announced that she had sealed this room again, chased the rest of us out, stole back the master key she'd lent me, and locked the door again. Apparently, George Aniki had been holding the key to Aunt Natsuhi's room. She also collected that. Wait a sec. She's got all of the master keys on her person. If Natsuhi's own key was locked up inside this room, doesn't that make it another closed room? So what, is this the fourth closed room? Now that the suspicion surrounding those three had been cleared, we returned to the parlor once more. I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. If only the dead are innocent, and everyone alive is a wolf, that leaves only me, Aunt Rosa, Maria, and Genji-san. And besides us, there's only grandfather and that 19th person, I guess we've seen no trace of, Beatrice. 13 people have died, and 6 are left. How would a wolves and sheep puzzle with only 6 people end? Even though a puzzle that started with 19 people has been reduced to 6, I can't think of an answer. We returned to the parlor. I was a bit worried that, while we were gone, a creepy magic circle or something might have been drawn on the parlor door, but thankfully we didn't find anything like that. Thank you, Genji-san. But this is far enough. Please rest for the day. You're not gonna let him in? Okay. Certainly. Then please, excuse me. You would expect that this whole situation would be more like World War One, where... Well, actually, people didn't really, like, lose their rank or anything, but, like, servants and, like, aristocrats or whatever, like, fought together in the trenches. But I think the higher people became the sergeants and stuff, but still, like, it kind of, like, World War One helped to break down the ridiculous well, not ridiculous, but, like, the rigid hierarchy, that's the word I'm talking about, the rigid hierarchy that used to exist in England. So you kind of expect that something similar would happen here, where, like, they would kind of, you know, not give a shit that he's only a servant. But whatever. Anyway. Please excuse me. Hey, Aunt Rosa. Are you saying you'll leave Genji-san all alone in a situation like this? That's right, because I'm a dick. I do think it's quite dangerous. But in that case, why is he safe? After those three headed to Natsuhi Ne-san's room, he was alone the whole time, and yet he's safe. It's a wolves and sheep puzzle. Why would a sheep be safe if it was all alone, and therefore in its weakest possible position? 'Cause it's too easy, that's why. Probably because by coincidence there weren't any wolves around. Wrong. It's because it wasn't a sheep. Also, I am an idiot. Are you saying Genji-san's a wolf? He said he was alone in the kitchen. That's impossible to prove. The only ones who could have carried Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san's corpses, who could have killed George and the rest, were him and Beatrice, right? Wait, with that argument, anyone... About the summer. Thank you for your concern. I believe trust is one not with 100 excuses, but with simple faithfulness. Even if I am not able to gain your trust, I wish to be faithful until the end. Genji-san. Then we're decided. If you truly are innocent, the police will prove that for us when they come tomorrow. Or you'll be dead, because I'm dumb. So until then, we cannot remove you from suspicion. After your long years of service, I find it truly painful to treat you so poorly. Do you? Do you find it painful? Okay. But please understand about tonight. Yeah, I'll understand when I'm dead. When tomorrow comes, please let us make up again. Yeah, if I'm still alive, sure. Genji-san gave his head a small shake. You are a fucking moron. I mean, today and tomorrow, I will continue to be a servant of the Utsunomiya family. If you need anything, please say so at any time. Then, if you will excuse me. After hearing all that, there was nothing left to say. Genji-san bowed deeply and left down the hall. Then we entered the room. Even though Aunt Rosa still held all of the master keys herself, she thoroughly checked the inside of the parlour again. She opened the curtains and checked again to make sure the windows were locked. As I watched, how should I say it, I felt like it didn't really matter anymore. If I said anything careless, it would turn into another fight. Oh my god, so familiar. For a while I gazed at her from the corridor, figured I'd waited just about long enough, and entered the parlour behind her. If she doesn't trust anyone but the dead, why doesn't she just go around killing everyone with the gun she's got in her hand? Oh god. And then, in the end, she'll realize that she herself is the wolf. Oh! Then she can just blast through the head of the final wolf and close the curtain on this insane murder drama. Okay, Butler. As I thought that bitterly, I returned to the sofa where I'd been encamped before, rudely resting both of my feet on the table. When I tried to do that, I found something there and stopped moving my feet. What is this? Right there, almost as though it had been addressed to me, was a Western envelope. It was that envelope from before with the seal of the one-winged eagle, not the one-winged angel, and it was unopened. Wait. What is this? Who put it in a place like this? And when? Until I went with everyone to check the corpses, I was sitting here the whole time, and there wasn't anything there then. And when I returned, it was here.
It's okay. Everything's still locked up securely. I don't know who's talking. It's not...
It's not Maria. It's okay. Everything's still locked up securely. This room is safe. I heard Rosa muttering that. Oh, she's like going... It's okay. Everything's still locked up securely. This room is safe. Wait. We made sure this room was safe when we left it. We checked that the windows were all perfectly locked. Then we locked it up, came back, and the windows were still locked. Then, wait, who put this letter here? And how? I opened the letter. 2 pieces of stationery came out. The first page had a magic circle drawn. Since solving the epitaph, in just a short while your time will be up in a flash. The 9th twilight will begin quite soon. There was no mistake. It was a letter from Beatrice.
Ooh, Battler, what is that?
When we came here just now, it was just sitting right here. What happened, Maria? Huh? Battlerkin, that letter? Wait, it was sitting right here. Why? Even though we checked to make sure this room was locked. Why? Why? Maria, come here. Oh, now she doesn't trust Battler? Oh my god. Aunt Rosa closed her eyes just a little and after thinking silently for a moment, told Maria to come. Maria obeyed her mother's words. As she did, something unbelievable happened. Yep. Aunt Rosa pointed that gun at me. Battlerkin, I've concluded that you are a wolf. Jesus Christ. Why? When I came into the room just now, I saw that there was nothing at all on the table, and I know that Maria did not approach that table. We're talking about a short stretch of time, but the only one who claims to have approached the table and found the letter is you. How can you... Wait, that's all screwed up. Why would I put something like this here? Wait, I just found something suspicious and reported it, right? Why are you suspecting me? Because only you could have set that letter there. That's right, this is all a charade. You pulled an envelope from your pocket and then acted as though you just found it to create the illusion that the witch entered a closed room, set down a letter, and you really think he could have killed all those people? Set down a letter and left. Dumbass? Are you thinking like that again? Are you gonna suspect me because of something like that? Cut it out. My dad and everyone else were killed. Why would I take part in the culprit scheme? True. Even if you were offered a large sum of money, I don't want to believe in the existence of the sort of demon who could sell out their own parents. Then again, maybe such a demon does exist. No, that's a bad way to say it. What if you didn't view Rudolph, Nie-san, and Kiria-san as your parents? What? Think about what you're saying. Dad is dad. I mean, dad is dad, right? Of course I'm not related to Kiria-san by blood, but she's like a big sister to me. No way in hell I'd let her comment like that slide, you bastard.
Ooh, stop it. Ooh.
Stop saying ooh. I'm sorry, that was a bad way to put it. True, Shiromiya Butler-kun may be Rudolph Nie-san's child. But are you really that Butler-kun? The hell are you talking about? If I'm not Butler, who else do I look like? All of us, including Rudolph Nie-san, are seeing you for the first time in 6 years. No one can prove that you really are Shiromiya Butler, right? Maybe you aren't Butler, but someone who snuck in, making a skillful bid to steal the wealth of the Shiromiya family. Fear is such a scary, powerful thing. Like, holy shit. Can you clearly prove that you're Shiromiya Butler? Right here, right now? Cut it out, damn it! It's me! I mean, I'm me, Shiromiya Butler! If we're gonna suspect even things like that, are you really Shiromiya Rosa? I'm myself, no one else. Yeah, that's right, I'm just as you say. You can't trust anyone but corpses and yourself. If you're gonna go that far, let me make an objection. Objection. George Aniki and the others were found dead, and Aunt Natsuhi's room was locked. George Aniki had the key to that room, right? Then by now, the only one with the master key is you, Aunt Rosa, right? Aren't you the only one who could have unlocked that room? My theory goes like this. You're in contact with the real culprit, and while I wasn't looking, you lent them one of the 5 master keys. I didn't do something like that. See, there are 5 of them here, right? As if that matters. You could have had them sit in a prearranged spot and collected it, right? And weren't you the one who doubted whether there really were 5 master keys? So, how do you suggest that someone other than yourself placed that letter there? Until you find proof someone else did it, you're a wolf. Shut up! His face. And why don't you show me some proof? How do you claim the culprit killed George Aniki and arrest in that closed room? How do they lock it? Neighbors probably think, after taking and having a domestic. That's right. That's exactly right. Natsuhi's room is exactly the same, just like usual. The door and windows were locked from the inside. There were no frauds or tricks, no means of secret passage, nor places in which to hide. Natsuhi's own key was in George's pocket, and the inside of the room was sealed off. Only the 5 master keys were left, and Rosa was holding all of them. And let me say this, the parlor's the same. The key to the parlor itself is sealed away in the servant room, so unlocking it without a master key is impossible. The definition of a closed room remains the same as always. Come on, now there's only one suspect. Or are you still playing innocent? Shiromiya Butler. Shut up! You shut up too! You're the one who should shut up. How do you claim the letter was placed here by another other than you? Unless you can prove such a thing happened, you're a wolf. If we can suspect me, then we can suspect you too, so just try showing me some proof yourself. And anyway, weren't you the first person to enter this room and start checking the windows, Aunt Rosa? Then you guessed that I go back to where I'd been sitting and secretly put the letter there. It's possible for us to suspect that this is a trap of yours, right? Why would I use a trap like that? If I was a wolf, I'd shoot you with this gun without question. That proves nothing. Maybe you chose the roundabout way of setting a clever trap because you couldn't commit murder in front of Maria. All the master keys are in your hands, so what happened? Both here and in the last room is all you're doing, right? If you think you can talk your way out of this, then let's hear your excuses. That's right, you've been suspicious from the start, Aunt Rosa. Why is it that even though 6 adults in the family conference were killed, you were the only exception? Why were you the only one not in that chapel? There can only be one reason. You invited Dad and the rest there and killed them. Damn it! Damn it! That explains everything, doesn't it? Don't fuck with me, don't fuck with me. Stop saying things that don't make sense. Sense! I need a drink. Are you a wolf? Are you? Are you a furry now? Ooh, stop it. You mustn't fight. Mama too. Bella too. Stop it. Stop it. It's no one's fault. It's not Bella's nor Mama's fault. I mean, or Mama's fault. The witch did all of this. It was done with magic. It's no one's fault. Ooh. Maria thrust herself in between Aunt Rosa and me as the blood started rising to our heads. I was taken aback by Maria's crying voice and returned to my senses. I'd acted shamefully just now. My eyes filled with tears, even though I was already crying. Oh, her little face. That's right. It's all the witch's fault, isn't it? All this about keys and tricks and alibis. All of it was stupid. Even though it's the work of the witch, we weren't even able to trust each other as humans. Right, Aunt Rosa? From the beginning. It wasn't a human culprit, it was all the work of the witch. So there's no way you're the culprit. And there's no way Maria, Genji-san, or I am either. Why has it come to this? Why am I screaming at Aunt Rosa, who I loved? Why am I having this fight? With the kind aunt I love so much. Why? Why does everyone have to suspect each other? I'm not going to suspect my aunt. I'm not going to suspect anyone. It's all the work of the witch. It's all the work of Beatrice. It's all a crime that Beatrice committed with magic. Beatrice, please, show yourself here and confess to us that you did everything. I'm sorry already. I'm sorry we've been suspecting each other like this. So forgive us. Release us. Release us from this hell of suspecting each other until we see each other die. Give me my kind relatives and cousins back. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it all. You definitely exist. It's your victory. It's your victory. Show yourself. Ooh, Beatrice. 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 I don't know how he's really saying it, but sure. Am I still alive? Oh, it's him. Am I still alive? Apparently, some time ago, Kinzo had fallen into a doze. He searched for his spectacles and looked at the clock. It was 10 p.m. That person's... Oh, it's Kinzo. Oh, I thought it was Genji. Okay. That person's ceremony. Let's see how... that person's ceremony. Let's see how far... Oh my god. Let's see. How far has it progressed? There we go. Jesus Christ. Must have come quite far by this time. Kinzo lifted his heavy body from the chair and approached the portrait of the witch, which he had gazed at every day. Beatrice, very soon I will have a chance to be reunited with your smile. I care not if I die. If I can just see your smile one more time, I will not regret this life. So, for heaven's sake, let me meet with you one more time. Then let me swear my love to you. Let me apologize for my crimes. Ooh. But I won't let you escape. You are mine. From your hair to your toenails to the dirt under your toenails, you are mine. Every fragment of your flesh is mine. Even the broth of your corpse is mine. I won't let you escape. This time you won't slip from my hands. I'll make you mine for all eternity. I will never let you escape a second time. I will never let you escape a second time. What the fuck? Why does he want the dirt under her toenails? Kinzo howled in rage, then suddenly fell to his knees as he shook and scraped at the wall. In an instant, he started sobbing. Oh, like that. You like the creepiness, don't lie. Any day now. Meanwhile, the chandelier had nothing to say because it's an inanimate object. Ah, that's wrong. I didn't want to say something like this. Beatrice, please, let me see you one more time. Even if you only let me apologize. Ah, Beatrice. Ah. You are beloved, yearned for. I was mistaken. If you would just smile, I wouldn't need anything else. I made a mistake. I made a mistake back then. I did something that cannot be taken back. Look at his face. In atonement, I offer all that remains of my life. In order to apologize to you, in order to atone for my crimes, I offered everything. Please, even if it must happen as I die, at least let me apologize. Just once. Beatrice. Ah. Ah. Sorry. As Kinzo shook and cried, a butterfly appeared out of nowhere behind his small back like a flake of gold leaf and softly descended. You fool, Kinzo. Did you think any woman out there would fall for a man's tears? Well, even if it wouldn't make a human woman fall for you, it might do the trick for a woman who is not human. Kinzo, do you remember that game of chess you played with me, which is still ongoing? Kinzo. As though he had suddenly remembered some. Oh, sorry. Kinzo, as though he had suddenly remembered something, approached the chess set. It was as it had been during the game he had played with Nanjo until yesterday. After knocking all the pieces of the chessboard, he began to line them up again, one by one. It was a setup for an ongoing game. That's right, like this. I advanced my queen. That was quite a spectacular move. Perhaps it was a little too intense for you. I worried whether you'd abandon your piece or not. Worried for so long. Kinzo waited with the opposite seat empty. Surely, very soon, his opponent would appear there, and he would be able to restart this game again. You fool, Kinzo. You want to apologize? You want to see my face again? You want to make my smile an eternal thing? Why can't you say a much, much simpler word? Even though that is the sole element of this world. Even though that's the sole element of this world. At that time, Kinzo muttered. Was it a prayer? An entreaty? It's probably best to just call it muttering. Like that. I love you, Beatrice. They were pure words, like something an innocent child would say, without any evil intent. You really are a fool, Kinzo. If you ever have the chance to do your life over again, know that those words will never cause a woman to fall for you. That's right. Not unless a miracle happens. That's what makes this. At that moment, Kinzo definitely heard a small knock, one with a tempo that differed from those of the servants. Who is it? The woman beyond the door didn't answer. I'm asking who you are. Will you not answer? The woman beyond the door didn't answer. Could it be... Ooh, Could it be... Beatrice? Beatrice! Beatrice! The woman beyond the door answered. On the 9th twilight the witch shall receive, and none shall be left alive. Oh, it's the clock is so zoomed in now. Was it like that before? I swear it wasn't so zoomed in before. Oh, now it's 11:30. This game makes me hungry. What's this music? Battler's figure was in the dining hall. He didn't feel like going back to the guest house in the middle of all this rain, and wandered half-heartedly around the mansion in search for any place where he could sit. Oh, right, because he's been cast out now, because he's apparently a wolf. Before said, oh, no, wait, because wasn't he like, let's not, like, whatever? I can't remember if Rosa agreed or not. Okay. Before setting up camp in the dining hall. He didn't even lock the door. He thought the shapeless murder, or maybe the golden witch, might come to kill him now that he was isolated. But he no longer had any desire to resist. I thought they said exist. He didn't even feel like using a locked door to hold off the culprit. He wanted that person to come at him openly, from the front. If it was the killer, he wanted to ask them about some of those wonderful closed room tricks as a parting gift. If it was the witch... Oh, if it was the killer, he blah 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 blah. If it was the witch, he hoped she'd at least take his life with some spectacular magic. However, ironically, neither of these two came to meet him. Rain! Battler opened the liquor cabinet on his own and enjoyed the liquor to his heart's content. No longer was there anyone to scold him for drinking alcohol. Well, fair enough. Drink all the wine. He boldly rested his legs on the extravagant tablecloth and savoured the high-quality liquor, which probably had a mind-boggling price, drinking it down straight from the bottle. Then, someone knocked. Battler realised that someone had finally come to greet him, and he's just like all drunk. He's like, hey, it's not locked. Whoever you are, please come in. And go ahead and introduce yourself. If you're human, please give me your name. If you're Beatrice, please tell me your bust size. Oh my god. I may not look it, but I'm well known as a breast... what is this word? Sommelier. You see? I don't know what that means. But whatever. It is Genji, Batwa-sama. Are you drinking all the alcohol? Oh, yeah. Come on in. Genji-san, huh? Sorry, but I got no interest in your butt size. He's like, oh, I am a -A. Please come in. It's unlocked. Excuse me. Genji-san opened the door and bowed. So, is Genji-san the criminal after all? Maybe an accomplice. That theory would probably explain most of the tricks. Did you come to give me my last rites? Nothing of the sort. I apologize if I'm disturbing you. Hey, saying I'm sorry without even telling me what you want is actually pretty creepy. What do you want? Are you gonna tell me that drinking alcohol is forbidden for minors? I'll just die anyway. Well, he's not wrong. We all die eventually. Please let me do what I want, now that it's all about to end. Battler-sama, do you love alcohol so much that you would spend the little time you have left drinking? Those words pierced me. That wasn't true. I just can't cope if I don't drink. I can't even taste the alcohol at all. You were just like the master. Indeed, you inherited the master's blood strongly. You mean grandfather, the heavy drinker, was drinking to drown his sorrows the whole time? First I've heard of it. After several sad incidents, the master's life was reduced to one of atonement alone. What is it you know? Do I have to be drunk battler for the rest of this game? Not that I'm complaining. Beatrice's ceremony was completed when the 8th twilight ended. I believe I can tell you everything now. What did you say? My drunkenness was completely blown away. I lowered my feet from the table and listened carefully to hear what Genji would say next. What's this music? Oh, it's so beautiful. Battler Summer, I shall guide you to the master's study. It would probably be best to hear it directly from both the master and from both grandfather and look, he just like sneaked up behind him. From both grandfather and hey, what in the world do you mean by that? Come, this way. I shall guide you, Battler Summer. And then like Butler's just like stumbling down the hall because he's all drunk. After Genji-san told me to follow him, he started to walk down the corridor. I threw my oh sure you did. That's how it works. I threw my drunkenness off completely and went after him. That's totally how sobering up works. Or like, Battler thinks he's acting real sober, but he's actually just like stumbling everywhere and slurring. We climbed a big staircase and the music got very loud all of a sudden. Oh, for just a second. Towards the 3rd floor. Genji-san stopped walking halfway. He then turned back and spoke. Battler Summer, from here on, you will probably see things you will not be able to understand. Don't think that'll scare me. I've already seen enough incomprehensible things today to make me sick. Please, accept what you see as you see it, even if you are drunk out of your skull. And accept what you hear as you hear it. Why? What? Oh, sorry, it's him. Why? What? There is no need for questions like that. You will learn the truth, and that is all. I will leave it completely up to you, Battler Summer. Whether to accept it, believe it, or deny it. Battler's like, okay. Genji-san checked one last time to see whether I was prepared to know the truth. The 8th twilight had already ended. And on the 9th twilight, the witch would revive, and nobody would be left alive. It meant that Beatrice had already been revived. And it probably also meant that none of us would be allowed to return alive. If I was going to lose my life anyway, I wanted to know the truth in the end. It didn't matter how hard it might be to accept. This music is weird. Yeah, even if a demon or a witch shows up, I'm prepared. Indeed, you were just like the master in his youth. Battler Summer, please be diligent in your studies. In the future, you will surely have great aspirations, and when that time comes, see to it that you are never forced to regret a lack of study and training. I don't think I'm gonna live, but okay. I'd be happy to, assuming I ever get a chance to work hard at my studies. Genji-san's silence felt like it was further confirming a certain resigned feeling I had. And then, the daughter-grandfather's study, surrounded by a sweet smell, came into sight. Genji-san took a gold key with an elegant design out from his pocket. The master keys had been confiscated by Aunt Rosa, but he kept the key to this study alone on his person. He put it in the keyhole, and it made a heavy clunking sound. Clunk, clunk. Oh, we don't get to hear it. Okay. Master, it is I, Genji. And then he's all like, Beatrice! I have brought Battler Summer with me. There was no reply, but it seemed the permission to go inside had been given. Okay. Come, Battler Summer. Please, go in. Okay, I'll go in. I readied myself and threw the door open. Ooh, I hear rain in real life. At that moment, I got slightly disoriented by the dazzling golden glow. It was unbelievably a swarm of butterflies that shone gold. So Battler hasn't seen these butterflies yet, has he? Oh, it is raining. The gold butterflies that completely filled the inside of the study poured out all at once. What is this? It was almost like golden leaf confetti. The interior of Grandfather's study was filled with a golden glow. And on a sofa like a reception chair in front of the study desk, I could see Grandfather's back. There was someone on the opposite... on the... I think it's raining. Holy shit. There was someone on the side opposite from... I don't know if you can hear me. There was someone on the side opposite from Grandfather. Goodness, Mr. Rain. It was in shadow, so I couldn't see it well. Master, I brought Battler summer. Battler, is it? I'm busy thinking now. Be silent for a while. Holy shit, it's raining. Kinzo declared that unhappily, his back still turned. It seemed he was enjoying a chess game with a visitor. Apparently the opponent had counterattacked with a superb move. Where is Naru, I wonder? Naru? Don't see you here. Sweet. Kinzo seemed to be enjoying himself as he thought deeply, while occasionally laughing and groaning. I have thought for 30 years about how to counter this move. Have fun with the move I have fermented for 30 years. Indeed, this is a deeply matured move. What? Sounds gross. What fun! What fun! Wait, maybe it's her. Gee, this is... I don't know who's talking anymore. No, it is him. Yeah. I see I'm no match for you. What is this? So, you came, Battler. I've been waiting for a while. Be silent for Kinzo's sake. Isn't it too early to resign, Kinzo? I could have countered that move in several ways already. It should have been my first meeting with that witch. However, I knew this witch. Even though it was our first meeting, I knew her from the portrait. Genji, serve some alcohol for Battler. What would be an appropriate liquor for this man? That which the master has loved since the days of his youth. Good. Serve it. You did well coming here, Ushiramiya Battler. First, sit down. You called my name many times, did you not? In deference to that, I allowed you to meet me. So, what will you ask me? What will you inquire? The door of the Golden Land will soon be opened. Soon we will have a banquet to celebrate my revival, at which I will be welcoming in the witches. In the meantime, I'll answer your questions. As many as you like. I've got a bunch of things I want to ask. What happened on this island? And why did incidents like these occur? I want to ask about the closed rooms, too. What about the chapel? What about Jessica's room? And the servant room? And Aunt Nazuki's room? And the parlor? There's so much I want to ask. About the witch's true nature. Is Beatrice really a witch? What's your goal? What do you want to make us do? And why did you call me here? Answer me about everything. Be quiet. You think you'll get answers if you ask? She just said she would tell me. Don't say that, Kinzo. Fragile and fleeting spiderweb did offer protection from King Herod once. Just like there are no useless things in this world, there are also no useless questions. Let me take a drink. 1 second. Very well. I'll answer all your questions. But only on one condition. What is it? If you hear everything and are able to accept my existence, then you will kneel and kiss my shoes. I called you here because I wanted to make you surrender to me. Kenzo and I made a bet. We bet on which would come first, Kenzo thinking of a new move, or me making you surrender. I don't think I'll lose. Damn you, talking so tough. Yeah, alright. Try and convince me. Try and convince me that you're a witch who can use weird, awesome, powerful magic. If I surrender, I'll kiss you, or do anything else. Oh, okay. The witch cackled, gloatingly. Then she glared at him unpleasantly, with eyes that said a man can't go back on his word. Well said. So, from what question shall I begin? I'll answer everything. Come, what will the first one be? Oh, I didn't realize my mouse was sitting there. And then the screen was black forever. There we go. Oh, is it credit time? And the witch began to tell of everything. She started providing answers to all of Battler's questions. Everyone made logical sense, everyone satisfied him, and Battler was forced to admit witches truly did exist. The rest is a story that need not be told. After toppling the king and resigning, all that remains is to reflect upon one's moves and set the pieces up once more. Or is this like a narrator? And the rest is a story that need not be told. And the rest is a story that need not to be told. Blah blah, blah blah. Second game, Turn of the Golden Witch result. Ushiromia Kraus died on the first twilight, chosen by the key to the Golden Land, and sacrificed. Ushiromia Natsuhi died on the first twilight, chosen by the key to the Golden Land, and sacrificed. Ushiromia Eva died on the first twilight, chosen by the key to the Golden Land, and sacrificed. Ushiromia Hiroshi died on the first twilight, chosen by the key to the Golden Land, and sacrificed. Ushiromia Eva died on the first twilight, chosen by the key to the Golden Land, and sacrificed. Ushiromia Kiria died on the first twilight, chosen by the key to the Golden Land, and sacrificed. Ushiromia Jessica died on the second twilight, back pierced by the stake of Asmodeus. Servant Canon died on the second twilight, chest pierced by the stake of Satan. Oh, Jesus Christ. Servant Shannon died on the fourth twilight, forehead gouged by the stake of Mammon. Servant Gora died on the fifth twilight, chest gouged by the stake of Beelzebub. Ushiromia George died on the sixth twilight, stomach gouged by the stake of Lucifer. What's the difference between Lucifer and Satan? Attending physician Nanjo died on the seventh twilight, knee gouged by the stake of Belphegor. Servant Kumasawa died on the eighth twilight, leg gouged by the stake of Leviathan. The witch Beatrice revived on the ninth twilight. She will finally open the door to the Golden Land. Ushiromia Kenzo missing. Oh man, I went Australian for a second. On the 10th twilight, accepted the witch, prostrated himself, and was invited to the Golden Land. Ushiromia Rosa missing on the 10th twilight. She denied the existence of the witch and was not invited to the Golden Land. Ushiromia Maria missing on the 10th twilight, accepted the witch, prostrated herself, and was invited to the Golden Land. Servant Genji missing on the 10th twilight, accepted the witch, prostrated himself, and was invited to the Golden Land. Ushiromia Battler missing on the 10th twilight. Will he accept the witch and be invited to the Golden Land? The witch shall praise the wise and grant 4 treasures in the Golden Land. There they chose to revive the souls of the dead and the love they possessed, because what they desired could not be gained from the mountain of gold, no matter how high. For Kinzo, his lost loved one. For Maria, the lost love of her mother. Aw. For Genji, a peaceful sleep. Uh-huh. That's funny. Rest in peace, Beatrice. May your slumber never be disturbed again. The winner is the Golden Witch Beatrice. Beatrice! Some of the 18 none solved the riddle of the golden time. Oh, since of the 18 none solved the riddle of the golden time. All 18 died. And the seagulls cried. None were left alive. Higurashi no Nakakora ni. None were left alive. Oh, no, sorry. Umineko, not Higurashi. Umineko no Nakakora ni. No one was left alive. Goodness. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, that must be pretty confusing to somebody who hasn't seen the end of the first chapter. The end! No, it's not the end. Oh! Where are you, Beatrice? Show yourself! Beatrice! Rosa finally arrived at the chapel. She pointed her gun around her, screaming the witch's name, but there was no way she would receive an answer. After grimacing slightly. Oops. Oh my god, my phone. Oh, I'm so sorry. After grimacing slightly, she noisily approached the table where her siblings' corpses still lay exposed and stretched out her arm towards a gold ingot. It was very heavy, but Rosa didn't mind. She wrapped that one up in a blanket and threw it over her shoulder. At least, just this one. This alone should be worth over 10 million. Without letting go of her gun, Rosa picked up the gold as well. Her shoulders were screaming, but Rosa didn't mind. How heavy is the gold? Holy shit.
It will happen very soon. Very soon. The door to the Golden Land will open.
Stop laughing with that creepy voice. Where is Beatrice? Yeah, I know. She's around here somewhere, right? You know where, right? Where is she?
I don't know. Even if you don't search for her, you'll be able to see her in the Golden Land. Out!
Stop laughing like that. It almost makes me want to laugh. That's right. That was definitely a witch. Definitely a witch. I didn't understand. I thought she was a human calling herself a witch, but I was wrong. It really was a witch. I wouldn't be fooled by something like that. You're there, right? Come out. Show yourself. Beatrice!
I told you. She'll appear very soon. The door to the Golden Land will be opened.
That's right. Isn't that splendid? I care not. I abandon that rook. You, woman, are a king that cannot be reached without the resolve to lose everything one has. I'll corner you, Beatrice. At least call me a queen. Oh, what a brilliant move. So your blood, no, the Ushiramiya blood, is bad at giving up. How pleasant! What a truly elegant night. Master Beatrice-sama, it will soon be time for the banquet. Already? That was fast. Every night I pass with you goes by swiftly. The moon falls like an apple, and the sun leaps out of the river like a small fish. What? What does that even mean? It is time, so let us go. Rise, battler. The banquet to celebrate my revival will now begin. I'll introduce you as my new furniture. No, as my toy. To the dignitaries among witches. The witch was relaxing elegantly, her feet thrown out from the sofa and resting on top of a footrest. However, the footrest wasn't a part of the sofa, but a human. A human down on all fours. Good. Beatrice on your silk dress. You were the guest of honor, but I am the host. I will go out first. It would have been nice if Shannon were here to help dress you, but unfortunately it seems she no longer remains. She's never around when I want to use her, an entirely useless person. However, you did well to remain here. I'm happy, my friend. I am grateful for your words. Good. Wait downstairs, you two. Genji, good work. Set the dress down over there. Certainly. Well then, master. We will go first. Beatrice, I will see you later. Indeed. Kinzo and Genji left the study. After that, the witch and the dress and the furniture remained. Do you know why I'm not embarrassed to show myself to you naked? It's because you're furniture. Furniture. Understand? Furniture. Just furniture. Who would feel shame at exposing their body to furniture? So there's no reason for me to feel shame in front of you. I do feel a bit weird getting dressed in front of Naru, to be fair. I can't do that cackle. It's hard. The witch rose and her jacket slipped off just from her shoulders. After that, the jacket fell to the ground with a thump. When the furniture respectfully approached to pick up those clothes, the witch gave it a small kick, and it fell over. Oh, kicked the furniture? The furniture was afraid of what misconduct it might have shown. Do you, as furniture, plan to force me to unbutton myself? Stand and undo the buttons, one by one, with care. Quickly, gracefully, with no mistakes. The guests are being kept waiting, so change my clothes quickly. How can you how can you make mistakes unbuttoning something? Buttoning something, sure, but unbuttoning? Yes. Undo them with care. Those buttons are each worth more than one of your eyeballs. If you make a mistake and break them, I'll sew your eyeballs instead. Oh my god. The entrance hall was bustling with a crowd of shadowy people, and it sparkled gold with the gold butterflies flying about. The gentlemen in suits and tuxedos and the ladies in dresses looked like they were having a great number of friendly chats. At a glance, it might have looked like a fabulous medieval ball. But they all had one thing in common, and that thing was exceedingly bizarre. They were all naked because it was a Betazoid. Because all of them had goat heads. Was it a goat mask masquerade, or did they really have goat heads? It probably couldn't be the latter, but in this bizarre world I really didn't know which was true. Kinzo was amongst those goat nobles, greeting them. Kinzo's greetings were more respectful than would have been expected, as though these were all honoured guests. At that time, Genji's voice rang out through the hall. It was a voice calling for silence. Silence! That voice stopped the idle chatter, and everyone turned to face Genji. Tonight we celebrate the appearance of our golden witch who has achieved her revival, the Lady Beatrice. Everyone, please welcome her with your applause. When Genji began to applaud, it quickly spread through the guests and became a roaring ovation. Oh, there you go. Then the Golden Witch appeared from the top of the large staircase. As she gracefully waved her hand, followed by a piece of furniture she was fond of, she slowly descended the staircase. The goat nobles offered unanimous words of celebration in some long-forgotten language. And those who were... Oh, that's scary. Like... And those who were deeply and intimate embraced, filled with joy at their reunion. As the witch offered greetings of reunion, the witch's furniture followed behind her the whole time. There was a chain around its neck. The other end was gripped in the witch's hand like it was a trained dog. It wasn't there to restrain him. Those chains were a restraining device whose only purpose was to wound the furniture's dignity. He wasn't permitted to wear anything else on his body. Oh. Did we enter the world of gore all of a sudden? One of the young women goats, mixed in with the goat nobles, quietly removed her goat mask as the furniture passed in front of her, and she spoke with eyes that had no light in them. That face seemed to belong to a long-haired young girl. Oh! Oh, this oh, that's a picture. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh, I'm blushing. Why did you correct your what is happening? Oh, what the fuck indeed? Oh, how pitiful. Oh, Lady Burncast. Oh, it's her. How pitiful. Oh, Lady Burncastle. Welcome. Do you like my furniture? That's a nice hobby. Oh, went away. That's amazing. It was so well drawn. Oh, such a beautiful. So beautiful. My goodness. After saying only that, the witch, called a Burn Castle, once again put on her goat mask. Why are you like censoring your swearing all of a sudden? You weirdo. And was swallowed up by the shadows of the other tall goats. Sore loser. She's ticked off, isn't she? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't know who's talking, but okay. You're not wrong. That's definitely Beatrix. Beatrice, but I don't know who the other... Is that the... Oh, it could be anyone. It could be Kinzo. Could be anyone. The young woman goats giggled, and the witch once again let out a high-pitched laugh. Thank you for gathering here, for my sake. Why don't we enjoy to the fullest this banquet of the witch where old friends have gathered from past and present, east and west? I want to see more naked battle, please. Come, we will eat all night, drink all night, slurp all night, and chew to bits all night as we enjoy us. Okay, what are you eating though? Look at the clock as it marks when the ending hour and the beginning hour melt together. Come! Let us sorry, that was really close to the mic when I said that. Come! Let us begin the banquet of the witch. When the witch announced the beginning of the banquet, the large clock pointed to 24, and the sound of a bell began to ring out. Come, now is the time. Open the golden door. Excuse me, why isn't this stream adults only? Maybe it should have been. My bad. Open the door. Yes. All at once the butterflies, leafed in gold, flew all around the inside of the room, and then Beatrice got out her fuel scoop. Amidst the golden storm and the brilliant gold-coloured light, the barrier between this world and another was cut open. Surrounded by the goats' delighted voices, the mansion of the human world and the mansion of those not human overlapped, and the members of the household who praised the resurrection of the Golden Witch scattered into gold butterflies and poured out of the depths of hell. It was a golden tornado. A rondo of golden demons. Come, tonight we will put aside rank. Throw open the wine cellar, drop the snake's head into the liquor pot, throw cows and chickens into the furnace alive, drink and eat and sing and dance, sneer and kill and desecrate and degrade. Ah, Beatrice, take me to the Golden Land now, to the Golden Land. Woo! Oh! The goat nobles were suddenly crushing in around Kinzo, almost like they were kids demanding the signature of some famous movie star. There were only two differences. First, these were witches, not kids, and second, what these witches demanded was not a signature. The sea of goat nobles began to drown Kinzo. Only Kinzo's laughing voice echoed throughout the area. Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yep, I didn't need to see that. Thanks for the teeth. It was a grand mixture of laughter in his death throes, and Kinzo became wine and meat and bread. An aroma it slurped, a rich taste if gnawed, and pleasant to tear to bits. Warning! Warning! The sound of his death throes lingered on sweetly, and if adorned with melted chocolate and golden argent, argot, I don't know what this word is, it would make a wonderful dessert. If you took the bones home, you could also use them in a soup. And the remains could even become toys for the children to play with. Oh, what? And they could also become splendid tools for fortune-telling that always brought misfortune. That entire scene was watched by the furniture. It was all fantastical. It was all demonic. Was the quaking of its supposedly paralyzed heart proof that it could still feel fear? At that time its knees buckled, and the furniture's body fell down in the middle of the carpet. After all, the witch had kicked those knees from behind it. Rip. Kneel and show your respect. Rub your forehead against the carpet and show how vulgar you are. Put your hands behind your back and swear that you will offer all your flesh and blood to me. The furniture let out a painful voice. Fear is the most basic basic emotion humans have. Was that emotion reviving his sense of self, which should already have been slain? So you are still far from suitable for my future furniture. Very well, I will carefully finish you, making you into the kind of furniture I like, the kind fitting only for me. As you are now, I doubt you can offer more than entertainment for our guests. The goat nobles were surrounding the crouching furniture. It seemed their blazing, blood-red eyes couldn't hide their ecstasy as this new young food they'd been given. And from the ugly teeth that stuck out of countless mouths, saliva, or maybe the traces of meat and wine that they had just eaten, dribbled down. As the furniture let out a wild scream, it retreated, still sitting on its backside. But the circle of goat nobles was closing in. Then the furniture looked at the witch's face. It had surrendered to the witch, so, believing that the witch would show some compassion, it stared at her face in the end. But there was nothing but scorn on the witch's face, and she wasn't even facing the furniture anymore. The witch went off to greet an honored guest with whom she had crossed gazes. Okay. The goat nobles looked down upon the furniture. Actually, they had been waiting. Just like how one must remove the cork in order to drink champagne, they had to wait for one thing before partaking of the offering served at this banquet. Also, thank you for that compliment. And yes, the sound. It's horrifying. Of course, the furniture didn't know about this thing, but it came out of his mouth all by itself. Just like the unavoidable pop of a cork, it inevitably came out of his mouth. It was a scream. It was a sign that marked the beginning of the modest banquet at which he has to be served, which he was to be served. What even? Oh, I got an achievement. What even? Oh, it was almost a bukkake. I don't know. Is it that? Is he like drowning? Is that what the sound is? Oh, Jesus. Rip. Sorry about the... Anyway. I don't think we got to see anything like that at the end of the first chapter. It was just like, and now we're in the happy place. By now, the garden was one of both roses and gold. A gold-colored garden where gold butterflies, gold fairies, and gold lizards rampaged and flew about wildly. Are there flying lizards? Maria, quickly! Run! I forgot about these guys. Quickly, 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 quickly! Rosa grasped her gun and the blanket wrapped around the ingot and ran at a speed Maria couldn't match, sometimes pausing to call out at Maria to run faster. So she saw it every time. She saw the golden pursuers chasing them from the mansion. Oh, because she's turning to look at Maria and they're behind her, I see. The massive gold butterflies was chasing after them like a massive crawling hand, and strange-looking shadows with goat heads were chasing after them. There was no need for her to strain her eyes, because those blazing pupils told her what would happen if she was captured.
Mama, wait! Mama, wait! Ooh, ooh, ow!
Maria fell down. For just an instant, Rosa was ashamed by thoughts of abandoning her daughter running away, and at the instant her feet touched ground, she ran back. The goat head that had sprinted over to get the first bite grabbed hold of the back of Rosa's own child's hair and pulled, Jesus Christ, and then scalped her.
Mama! No!
Oh dear God. Is that what they said? Okay, just check. Rosa rammed into the goat head with her shoulder, spun, bashed the back of her elbow into the goat's jaw, and buried her knee into its protruding chest. She finally did something for her daughter. Oh, hello. Goodness. And she thrust the barrel of the gun inside the goat head's mouth as it doubled over from the pain in its gut. Just try laying one finger on Maria in front of me. I'll show you just how lukewarm the hell you came from is. Lukewarm? The blast from the Winchester's .45 caliber long Colt bullet exploded inside the goat head's throat, and its medulla oblongata was instantly pulverized. I don't know what that means. The goat head hadn't understood. It had thought women were like pre-opened wine bottles. What does that mean? It had thought that turning them upside down would immediately make their deep red contents come out. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Mama! Mama!
Maria, who had been released, hugged Rosa. But the pursuers were still coming. They could see the giant goat heads who had given up pretending to be human, running towards them from across the rose bushes. Rosa spilled several extra bullets which had been in the pocket of her coat all over the place and told Maria to pick them up.
Yes. Pick up! Pick up!
Maria, if Mama falls down, run. Go to the shore and swim and swim and swim. There's no way for us to survive on this island.
No, I'll stay with Mama. Ooh.
Rosa's gun roared 4 times. But even though four shots really did hit the massive approaching goats in the chest, they didn't even flinch. The goats ran with a violent vigor as though they planned to crush Rosa and Maria with those massive bodies. Put the bullet in! Quickly!
Ooh.
Rosa grasped the blanket with the ingot in both hands, and she herself sprinted, pulling it along. Without even an ounce of fear, those strange-looking giants... Without even an ounce of fear, those strange-looking giants... If it's to protect my daughter, I'll overcome even hell. Oops, I don't know what's because of something over there. I'll show you this golden dream. Oh, Jesus. Rosa, what the fuck was that? Since when does the camera move? Rosa roared. The goat heads roared. That terribly heavy ingot, after picking up a fearsome centrifugal force and speed, slammed into the head of the goat head. Rosa pulled a fountain pen from her pocket, but she held it crooked. She placed it in her palm, in the gap between her middle finger and her ring finger, so that it stuck out when she made a fist, almost like a stinger was growing out of it. Okay. That stinger sliced into the left eye of the goat head as it fell over. Was the goat head's roar a scream? But Rosa's roar was different. She pulled back her fist and slammed it into the fountain pen that was still sticking into the goat head's eye. Oh my god. The pointed tip was gouged into the depths of its head. Oh, Jesus.
Mama, the bullet went in.
Good job. When Rosa grabbed the gun Maria had thrown, the giant finally tumbled on the ground with a thunderous crash. How does she know how to load a gun? I don't know how to load a gun. However, at the same time, I saw the goat-head pursuers on the other side of the rose bushes increase in number. I've gained enough distance for now. I held onto the blanket wrapped around the ingot and the gun, and once again ran with Maria. Oh, now it's in first person. Why am I running with a gun in my right hand and the gold in my left? Why didn't I let go of one hand and grasp Maria's hand? Because I'm a horrible person. I can't let go of the gun that protects my body. I can't let go of the gold that protects my future. But even so, I've let go of the hand of my daughter, the one who is my future. Run. 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 She got hold of the rose garden and began to run down a staircase through a grove of trees. Sorry, she got out of the rose garden. That makes more sense. But Rosa knew. This path through the grove turned and twisted many times and only seemed to be long. She tore straight through it. I was going to say, just go through it. She had played here often since her childhood years, so she knew. To the beach, to the beach, to the sea, to the sea, to the sea. And after reaching the sea, nothing to do but swim, swim, swim. And if Maria can't swim, I'll carry her as I swim. There's nothing but death on this island. Yeah? Mama? Mama? As she raced down the stairs, she took a bad step. A violent pain ran up her left ankle and her mind went completely blank. Oh, rip. Rosa fell down several stairs, shocked by her ankle, which was bent at an odd angle. And the blanket with the ingot wasn't there. She had let go of it the instant she fell, and it had disappeared somewhere into the darkness. Only the gun was left. Tremors in the earth were getting closer. It was only a matter of time before the goat heads flooded in. She didn't want to imagine how many there would be, or how strange they would look. The lightly dancing gold pursuers arrived. The gold butterflies surrounded Rosa and Maria, waving and clamoring as though saying, "The prize is here! The prize is here!" Rosa couldn't even try to get up. The violent pain from her broken ankle was so great that she couldn't ignore it, even in her last moments. What am I doing? I had the gold, which would have been worth several million yen. I might have been able to start over with that. I mean, couldn't you just leave and come back and get it? And yet I fell, lost it, and now my own life is in danger, and Maria's too? What has my life been? I was born into an incomprehensible family, with irritating older siblings since the day I was born. What did I do? No matter what I did or didn't do, I was always in trouble and bullied and made fun of. What has my life been? Mama, Mama, Mama. The roar inside Rosa's heart shriveled away and disappeared. It disappeared when she heard Maria's crying voice as she sobbed and clung to Rosa. Maria remembered something she's got to do. Mama remembered something she's got to do. Please go on ahead. No. I want to stay with Mama. I don't want Mama to die. Maria, even though I'm such a bad Mama, you still say you want to stay with me? Yeah, I want to stay with you. I want to stay with Mama. I made it look like I was putting you first, but I was always putting you off. I went to your athletic meet, I went to Parents' Day, but I was always thinking about how I appeared to the world, and you were never in my eyes. Are you saying that you want to stay with that kind of mother? Even though I've been such a bad mother?
Hey, Mama. Did you know? You're my only mama in this world. There is no good mama or bad mama. There's just one mama. So I don't need any other mama in this world. And I want to be your one and only Maria.
That's a horrible message, but okay.
The Maria you want to spoil when you're in a good mood. And the Maria who's a nuisance and you don't want to be around. Aren't different people. There's only one Maria. And so the scary mama and the nice mama are the same. To me, they're my one and only mama.
It's so horrible. I was such an idiot. Yeah, you were. I didn't need gold. If only I just pulled you by the hand. I was such a stupid mama. The shadows of the goats covered the sky even more thoroughly than the trees of the forest. Their roars blotted out the world of fear. Rosa, still hugging Maria, readied her gun with one hand. Maria, let's go together. She gonna shoot her daughter in the face? I'll never leave you. Let's always stay together, so that Mama never gets lost again.
Yeah, and we'll be able to see each other soon. We'll be together forever. We'll be able to see each other in the Golden Land. And then we'll play together. Play with the wolves and sheep puzzle. Mama hasn't solved more than one of the puzzles, but I've solved them all. So I'll be the riddle giver. She had bought it as a birthday present, and then hadn't played it with Maria after that first night. Yes, we'll play together. I promise. Mama! Those eyes, sparkling like red-hot lava, looked just like a group of fireflies. They danced, closed in, and attacked. Ah! Oh! Come on! Let whoever wants to eat the bullet Maria chambered for me step forward! Ah! Oh god, then the seagulls cried. There were no survivors. 11? Oh. Well, that's the end of that chapter, I guess. Oh, goodness. Okay, new elements added. The Golden Witch has prepared a gift in commemoration of your recent sojourn. I don't know if that's how you say that. The new elements may be accessed from the title screen. Oh, really? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know where that is. It must be. Is it in the tea party? Oh, I forgot this was. Oh yeah. Okay, I need to get a drink though before we do this. Oops. Sorry, I think I brushed the mic. Ow, my foot. Oh god. 1 second, I'll be back. Oh. Oh yeah, where's
to tea party. Puruga Torio. Rosa awoke from her doze. It must have been a very deep sleep. Her mind was hazy and she wasn't thinking clearly. Where is this? It felt like some mansion, but it didn't seem to be the Usurumiya mansion. She could see a room that looked like a parlor, and there was some tea that had been prepared. It had probably been made for her. Around the room, some glitter that looked like gold leaf drifted about, making the scene look quite fantastical. When she eventually realized that they were gold butterflies, it further strengthened that impression. There was someone across from her. A woman. A lady. It was the portrait's witch. She seemed to be having a one-sided conversation. She was probably talking to Rosa, but Rosa, whose mind was clouded up by a deep fog, didn't have a clue what was being said. Choose whatever you please. If there's anything you want, I'll give it all to you. You can think of it as a reward for your good luck, or else as proper compensation for how you've answered to my demands. It may have been a truly trivial matter from your perspective. However, the deal was important enough to me to be deserving of this reward. What is she talking about? I don't know. It's just that I'm very much a witch. Perhaps you better ask for something only a witch can give you. What a rare chance this is, to actually receive the favor of Beatrice the Golden, me. Finally, Rosa started to feel the blood flowing through her body. Her movements were still sluggish, and she couldn't even voice the words she was thinking. I'm commonly called the Golden Witch. Bestowing a mountain of gold like the one I gave Kinzo is trivial to me. After all, you can measure all the pleasures of the human world with money. Therefore, gold is no more or less than the manifestation of the human world's pleasures. Can you imagine it? A mountain of gold that you couldn't use up as long as you lived. As the witch blew on her pipe, multicolored smoke enshrouded their surroundings. As she did this, the inside of the parlor was suddenly filled with stacks of gold ingots. It looked like a shining gold-colored wall. If each ingot was worth several 10 million yen, how much would all of this be worth? It seemed sinful to even think of such a number. Sinful! However, the human world is difficult. I know there are some things that cannot be settled, no matter how high into the sky you pile up gold. I know there are cracks that cannot be filled. I don't make light of that, which is why this is a gift that only a witch such as I can give. Why don't I fill those cracks in for? Why don't I fill those cracks in for you? Yes, how about this? It's something only I can give. You should be very happy. No need to thank me out loud. I can tell right away. It's written on your face and in the corners of your heart. Rosa felt a touch of discomfort at this witch, who kept on talking even though Rosa hadn't uttered a single word. But since she still couldn't manage to speak and was so helpless that it was difficult to even move a finger, she couldn't do anything but listen. How far must the deep wounds in your heart recede before they can be healed? This is deep. Quite deep indeed. Oh, this is deep. Quite deep indeed. Sometimes wounds close up while a fragment of foreign matter remains inside. Ugh. Even when such wounds appear to have healed, they continue to throb for all eternity. Sometimes you have to open the wound once more in order to heal it completely. As the witch spoke, she stared deep into Rosa's eyes. What in the world was she peering at? Rosa felt uncomfortable, but she couldn't look away. So, your pain was already fated by the time of your birth. How heartbreaking. You don't have to say it. I understand. I understand. Rosa was gradually being sucked into the witch's eyes. Ooh. Then the world grew dark, spinning round and round as she was sucked in. Rosa? Rosa? Oh, Rosa, Rosa, why are you such an idiot? Oh, that's Kraus Nissan's voice. Kraus Nissan is a real adult, so he's very smart. So he hated this stupid kid, Rosa. He was a very scary person. I was often hit, and my toys were taken from me and broken. What the fuck? I was apparently being punished for something bad I'd done, but I never really understood what it was, or why I was being punished. Did their mother die, giving birth to her or something? I was always punished suddenly, and then later told what the punishment was for in a forced manner, though it was always something I didn't remember doing. So I really hated Kraus Nissan. Maru? Ah! Maru. Thank you. Rosa, Rosa, why are you such an idiot? Oh. Rosa, Rosa, why are you such an idiot? Oh, that's Eva Nessan's voice. Eva Nessan is a real adult, so she's very smart. So she hated this stupid kid, Rosa. She was always a very sly person, and she often lied to me, tricked me, bullied me all the time. Apparently I was stupid, and she said it was only natural for stupid people to be swindled by those smarter than them. So I wanted to become a wise person like Eva Nessan and listen to what she said. But when I obeyed her, for some reason, someone always got really mad at me. So I really hated Eva Nessan. Geez, she had some issues. Still no excuse for the way she treated Mario, but Jesus Christ. Rosa, Rosa, why are you such an idiot? Oh, that's Rudolf Nissan's voice. Rudolf Nissan really knows how to get things done, so he hated this stupid kid, Rosa. Rosa. When Kraus Nissan was around, he would be friendly with Kraus Nissan. When Eva Nessan was around, he'd be friendly with Eva Nessan. And when Kraus Nissan wasn't around, he would be violent like Kraus Nissan. And when Eva Nessan wasn't around, he would play dirty like Eva Nessan. So he had no personality of his own. And even though he was also bullied most of the time, when Kraus Nissan and Eva Nessan weren't around, he gave me 2 people's worth of bullying. Jesus Christ, this horrible cycle though. So I really hated Rudolf Nissan. Oh, but these were my memories from when I was a kid. It's common for unfair things to happen between kids. You mustn't hold on to grudges for such things forever. With time, those memories get buried away, and forgetting them bit by bit is supposed to be part of growing up and becoming an adult. So becoming an adult is the same as separating yourself from all those memories. And because of that, no matter how much time passed, Rosa couldn't become an adult. Even though she had been blessed with a daughter called Maria and was called a mother, she didn't at all feel like she had become an adult. The witch pitied her for that, and she smiled, saying that she could heal that pain herself. How can I heal you? It's possible, but not easy. I might rewind time and giving you a world where you have no older siblings. But that way your memories of being hurt by your older siblings wouldn't remain, and in that sense, while we might call it a gift, you wouldn't be able to accept it. A person is only satisfied when their starvation is healed, but if you make it so they never starved in the first place, none of them will thank you. Just like how there are no young people who give thanks for their daily gluttony. Understand? I think she's telling me something really complicated. In short, even if she makes it so I never had older siblings, they wouldn't remove my pain. Maybe that's what she's saying. Strictly speaking, that's not quite right. Healing isn't the same thing as removing pain. It's the pleasure we earn as compensation for withstanding pain. Therefore, removing the pain isn't healing. To know the joy of healing, you have to know the pain. Which means you must know joy in order to compensate you for your pain. You should be proud of your past sufferings. After all, they are what make it possible for you to know pleasure that those without pain will never experience. Those who experience this pleasure cannot help but pass on the same joy to others. When the witch snapped her fingers, even though the room was still filled with a mountain of gold and had already lost all semblance of reality, a fabulous tablecloth appeared on top of the table. A fabulous tablecloth! And a wonderful meal was laid out, almost as though it was the opening of a banquet in a castle from some fairy tale. For an instant, Rosa truly did feel a pleasurable surprise at how fabulous it was, but at the same time, she felt a bit of anticlimax. After all, she didn't think being bullied by his siblings could be wiped away by just one meal, no matter how delicious. Food is the source of many human pleasures. You simply must eat like a pig, as long as you live. If one meal isn't enough, then have as many as you want. Until the pain of your heart is healed, why not continue this gourmet banquet? Begin it, furniture. Oh geez, you're gonna force her to eat? What the fuck? As the witch clapped twice, there were suddenly 2 goat head servants there, and they began to prepare the meal. From the beautiful dishes... Naru! What are you doing? Get off the desk, please. 1 second. All I had to do was take off my headset, and Naru's like, oh, okay, it'll be wonderful. Hello! Oh, did you come to say hello? Oh, she's so good. From the beautiful dishes adorning the table, they efficiently took some food and began to pile it up on Rosa's plate. It really did look delicious, but Rosa's body still felt as heavy as lead, and there was no way she'd be able to eat. Maybe they also understood that. Oh, you know what I haven't done in a while? Oh, that feels better. Okay. The goat-haired servants tied a napkin around Rosa's collar, and gallantly brought a glass of before-dinner alcohol to her mouth, tilting it for her. She remembered an old servant who had once carried rice porridge to her mouth when she was laid up with a high fever. She couldn't drink it well, and it dripped down from her mouth, but she felt the fragrant sweetness spread throughout her mouth. It's a sweet aperitif of noble rot German-made wine. I know what that is, but I've never actually heard it said before. Aperitif? Aperitif? A wine cocktail of white wine mixed with a crimson golden drop. Oh. That's... Oh, look how the music stopped. If I had to give it a name, I'd call it a Bloody Kraus. Soaked with just a golden drop of your brother's blood that was squeezed out of a compressor. Rosa coughed violently, and the bright red that stained her face made it look as though she had coughed up blood. You know a lot about black tea, so you should know what it means, right? Golden drop refers to the last drop in a drink. It is called the most precious drop in black tea. So, a golden drop of blood is the same. The last and most precious drop of blood squeezed out of a human. We squeeze it using that. Great. As the witch snapped her fingers, a bright red veil that had been set up before something large was removed. The solemn and massive machine there was just like a coffin for a large-sized person, with many large bulb-like things stuck to it, and it looked like a sinister torture device. Ugh. By its unnerving shape, she could tell that with a human strength that could be used to tighten and compress something. Ugh, it's so disturbing! And it seemed there were still some squeezed dregs remaining, because of the bright red remains that stained it. Okay, good, we don't have to see that. But you can't take more than one golden drop at once. No matter what kind of human you take it from, you can't get more than one drop. But I am a witch. Reviving a person is easy for me. When the witch snapped her fingers, the human compressor suddenly began to shake. No, she could also hear a groan. It looked almost as though someone sleeping in that man-sized coffin had woken up and was now struggling to get out. That was wrong. What was inside definitely had been squeezed dregs. Using her magic, the witch had once again revived the squeezed dregs to how they'd been before they were squeezed. 3 goat-head servants with muscular physiques approached the compressor and forcefully started tightening a large box. Does this have to exist? As they did, an unearthly moan came from inside the coffin. Rosa thought she knew the owner of that voice. Ugh. I thought you said there was only 1 drop. Can we not? Okay. Is this necessary? I don't need the sounds. Thank you. It is fitting for cooking to be done in the kitchen. Enough. Stand back. Do you understand how precious a golden drop is? To have it stained this crimson requires that several dozen people's worth be squeezed. The witch definitely said that only 1 golden drop could be taken from a single human. RIP! And yet she had dozens of people's worth of golden drops from a single human. Only a witch could do this. The Golden Witch Beatrice could kill a single human endlessly. In other words, before Beatrice, even death did not mean freedom. Do you need me to put it a different way? Have you forgotten the day this man hit you when you swallowed the blood that ran into your mouth? That's right. Remember that taste. Remember the taste of the tears that you spilled until you were dry. I believe this aperitif will be sufficient to heal that regrettable memory. Once again, the goat-head servants tilted a deep red glass against her mouth. Rosa tried resisting by closing her lips, but the deep red liquid was relentlessly poured into her mouth, which hung open with shock, and the inside of her mouth was filled with ghastly sweetness. Jesus Christ, she's like being waterboarded. It definitely was a fragrant sweetness. The living blood of her brother, who had given her such hateful thoughts and made her soak her pillow so many times, had been collected from his death, repeated dozens of times. How could the crimson stained white not be sweet? But Rosa tried to spit it out. Wait, how could it be sweet or how could it not be sweet? How could it not be sweet? But Rosa tried to spit it out. Because of that, the deep red wine that spilled out of Rosa's mouth looked just like a bloodstain. Didn't we already go over this? Now that she knew that this ghastly substance wasn't a simple aperitif, Rosa couldn't help but feel uncomfortable about what would happen if this banquet continued. That is a double-tongued salad made from vegetables in season. On your 9th birthday, you made a wish that you'd someday get to chew this to bits. This salad, made from Eva's tongue. Ooh. When Rosa heard the true nature of the pink-coloured meat piled up in the salad, is it really a salad if there's meat in it? She had a sudden impulse to vomit her guts out. Furthermore, the goat servant stuck a fork in it and carried it to Rosa's mouth. Ew! How does your double-tongued sister taste? Must be quite soft and enchanting, right? It probably would be quite sweet, soft and enchanting in her mouth. After all, Eva's lies were always sweet, and young Rosa had always listened to them. And you might say this stimulating pepper seasoning expressed the truth behind those lies well. Why did she have to eat her siblings? As the tongue salad that kept being pushed into Rosa's mouth was covered with saliva, she spat it out. But the goat-head servants carefully returned it to the plate and carried it to Rosa's mouth over and over again. It goes without saying, but I made this salad liberally using 5 of Eva's tongues. You can't get more than 1 tongue out of a person, but I can get them over and over. As Rosa's tears dripped down, she resisted frantically. However, the only way she could resist was by refusing to swallow. Even if she didn't swallow it, the taste of the French dressing increasingly permeated Rosa's mouth. Does it not please you? There's lots more. Sea bass pie wrapped in the skin of... Oh my god. The skin of Rudolph's face, soup with boiled brains, liver pate, and look forward to dessert. It's not just your siblings, see? I've lavishly assembled all of those whom you have trusted and yet by whom you were betrayed. Why don't we continue this banquet for all eternity until your heart is satisfied? For all eternity. Oh my god. Can we not? You're happy, right? Isura mia Rosa? Don't pretend you hate it. I know that you're actually happy, okay? If you want to laugh, then do so. And if you won't feel better until you've heard a raw performance of your annoying older siblings scream, I'll let you hear them as much as you like. Fear not, your reluctance doesn't trouble me. That's just your personality, right? Oh god, that's terrible. On the inside, you're actually so happy that your skin is crawling all over. And yet, on the outside, you're merely pretending that all this causes you pain. Yes? It's all right here. Here, there is no need to worry about honor or your public image or anything. So laugh as much as you want and chew it to bits. Isn't this the best banquet, Umineko Rosa? Please, stop. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to leave dessert as a surprise, but let me reveal it now anyways. Maybe that will be enough incentive for you to eat up the full course. Your dessert is that beloved daughter that you had to keep pretending to love. Oven-baked Maria with apples. Doesn't that sound yummy? Once you eat this, you will be released from everything. Freedom, you see. Freedom! Finally, Rosa will gain freedom as an individual person. Aren't you happy? You should be happy. Drool is hanging from your mouth. Just try looking in a mirror. Suddenly, a muscular goat cook was holding Maria under his arm. And Maria gazed at Rosa with a face that was only slightly sad. Oh, Rosa, she's alive.
Mama, was I a burden?
You aren't a burden. As Rosa spat out the food that was continually being carried to her mouth. As she was covered with filth and saliva and blood, she resisted filthily and screamed. Jesus Christ.
If you think I'm a burden, I don't mind if you eat me. After all, I'm always doing horrible things to you. Even when you bring a man over, I can't stay quiet. When you spend the night out with a man, I get lonely and unruly and make a mess of my room. When I go to search by myself, I get lost, the police pick me up, and you're ashamed. When you don't come home for several days and I cry and have to be consoled by the neighbors, you're ashamed.
When you don't come home for several days?
Because I'm like this, I'm a burden to Mama. Sorry for being born. So I'll become delicious oven-baked apples for Mama's sake. And then maybe Mama will be happy I exist for the first time. Maybe she'll eat me and think I'm delicious. Isn't it delicious? Be choked up with tears of gratitude.
Oh, wait, this isn't her talking? I'm really confused.
Be choked up with tears of gratitude. Your daughter's saying this much for you, right? Oven-baked apples and your beloved daughter make for the best dessert. You've managed to raise such delicious ingredients. Aren't you the best mother, Umineko Rosa?
It must be Beatrice talking because it's doing the cackling. I'm confused. Oh, Jesus! I did not need.
Mama, thanks for everything. Bye-bye.
Wait! Wait, Maria, that's wrong! Stop it already, no! I didn't want something like this. Please stop, please forgive me. No, stop it already. Don't put it in my mouth. Oh my god. Who the fuck wrote this thing? Have you been satisfied with my hospitality? Then I'll have you accept it. That I'm a witch. Proclaim it. Umineko Rosa accepts that Beatrice is a witch. I need a drink. I accept it! Umineko Rosa accepts that Beatrice is a witch. So give Maria back. Release me. I finally made you acknowledge it. That crafty battler has already surrendered, and I made Rosa the fool who denied me even after being invited to the Golden Land accept it. Perfect. It's perfect. I've accomplished my perfect victory. Oh! Come, bring Maria. Prepare a delicious oven roast for Rosa. No, Maria. Looks delicious. Slice up your cow tits and make me a sandwich. What? What did I just read? Oh my god. Oh, what is happening? This must be Battler talking. Well, that voice. Ooh, ooh. An arm grabbed the back of the witch's head and smashed her face into the table. As it did, the witch broke to pieces, turned into a cloud of gold butterflies, and reformed to her body a short distance away. But Battler? You bastard! I thought you'd surrendered so far that even your soul was furniture. Me too. Oh, I love this thing. But while I was listening to that gross recipe, I started to get a little hungry. Now I feel like eating a whole roast witch. And Maria, it's 10 years too early for you to talk about having someone eat you up. Oh! Oh. 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 We can pack up and go home now. Show's over, folks. But in 10 years, you'd better say that to me. Promise. Can you stop, Battler? Like, just shh. Ugh! Promise. It's terrible. Fucking terrible. The Battlerkin! Sorry to keep you waiting, Aunt Mercer. I'd forgotten. This is a one-on-one fight between me and this woman. It's totally wrong for me to give in. Thanks to you hanging in there. Oh, thanks to you hanging in there, I've got my will to fight back. My will to fight back. This person, he gave up down to the depths of his soul and surrendered to me, didn't he? I see. He doesn't know when to give up. Just what I'd expect from Ushiramiya Kinzo's grandchild. So, the trick of a phoenix is a phoenix after all. How dashing, how amusing. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have you any other way, Battler. Try to deny me, I'll completely and thoroughly smash you to bits. Let me make you surrender over and over again. I'll teach you, one who has licked my shoes, the taste of defeat over and over again. No problem. I'll teach you that I, Ushiramiya Battler, am a man who can stand back up even after crawling through the mud. I've never been invincible in a fight. I've lost loads of times. But I'll definitely crawl through the mud and stand up again. And then I'll finish this. In a man's fight, you don't lose until you accept defeat, no matter how much you get beat up. Don't think I'm out just because you took a shot at me. I'll give you a good show, Beatrice. I'll accept your challenge, Ushiramiya Battler. Furniture, begin preparations for the next game. While we're waiting, why don't you tell me all about it? There were a lot of closed rooms in this game. Using Red, I've smashed to bits most of the methods by which you tried to talk yourself out of them. What other evasive quibbles will you show me now? The lock to the chapel, the lock to Jessica's room, the lock to the servant's room, the lock to Natsumi's room, the lock to the parlor? Use your bizarre specialty. Those delusions, rantings, daydreams, and bluffs, all slanted with ridiculous, incredible turns of events, and show how you can thoroughly deny me. Ah, it's useless. It's all useless. Useless! Oh, here we go. Oh my goodness, my throat. Oh, so much talking after like a month of not talking very much. Well, I will stop this stream here for today after these credits are done, because I have to go to a family dinner thing. We're going for drinks first, which is very exciting. I'm pretty sure we are only having this because my mum is concerned that I'm now living on my own for a week. She's been so weird. It's like, Mum, I have lived on my own. Well, I've lived on my own for 10 years, but I've lived on my own for at least a year and a half. and lived on the other side of the world with someone for like the other time. But like, it, you know, like you don't have to like just relax. It's okay. She's like, what are you eating? And like, are you still alive and stuff? And it's like, oh my god, I'm just across town, Mom. It's okay. It's okay. You see, what have you written? Who said the person's name? My god. Ooh. We don't want to meet him in a, or her, in a dark alley. Oh my god. Oh, not that I'm complaining about my mum being worried. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's nice to have food and stuff. It's good. It's good to be looked after. Blue panda, but it's just it's just kind of funny. It's not annoying. It's just funny. It's like, he's silly. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I don't know when I'll stream next. I won't be able to stream tomorrow because I'm going to Wellington tomorrow. I'm not. I could maybe stream on Wednesday? Tuesday? No, not Tuesday. Oh wait, Tuesday maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. And then I'll be back at my parents again. So I don't know when I'll be able to stream. But I have been recording a bit of trails. I might upload more than one episode of Trails a week because it's the only thing I can record at the moment. But I don't know yet. We will see. We will see. But yeah. But thank you everybody for coming to the stream. Thank you for the donation and everything. And I really hope I can stream again sometime soon. It really just all depends on when I can get an income and then be able to afford to rent a place on my own. Is really the issue at the moment. So, or if Octotegi goes out of town, then I can stream here. Or if I can stream somewhere in their house and they don't mind. I don't know yet, but we will see. We will see. Yeah, it was good though. It was nice to stream, and it was nice to play this game again too. Ugh, such a good game. Like, it's really fun to stream. Ooh, hello. Rain has come to say hello. Before I leave, I would also like to say thank you to all of my patrons. I think this list is actually a bit outdated. There's some people there that shouldn't be there, and there's some that should be there and aren't there. Like, Ordinary Magician should be on that list, actually. But anyway, thank you to all my patrons. I appreciate your existence very much, even though this list is wrong, but whatever. Sorry, I didn't have time to fix it. My bad, I'm sorry. Most of those names are right, though. Yeah, and, oh, sorry, let's go back to the credits, my bad. Sorry, can I, like, make this go faster, by any chance? Can I, like, scroll through? No? Okay. Do we have to watch the whole thing? I don't know if we do. I guess we can. Let's sit here. For a little bit, let's see, what else is happening in my life? I don't know. I don't know. What are you doing for the weekend? Oh. Come on, credits. Let's go. Credits? These are very slow scrolling credits. And the names are like massive. Which is strange. Oh, by the way, if you would also like to become a patron, you can have a look at the link in the description of the video. There's probably one there. Yep. Also, the Discord is a thing. That's a pretty fun place to hang out. It's where all my announcements and stuff go. I also have a do your pepper accents. No, you'll have to wait for that. And then oh, it's not so much an accent as much as it is a voice, but and you're welcome. There's what was I gonna say? I got distracted by something. Oh yes, I also have Instagram. I think the link to that's in the description. If not, you can just search Nocturnal Owlie on Instagram. It's mostly pictures of our Lord and Savior, Naru, but there is a little bit of my face there as well. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Oh, vocal, kana. That means chicken and finish. Oh, I think we reached the end of the credit. Oh no, we didn't, just kidding. Just kidding, something. Yes, I also have Instagram, and there's also Twitter, which I started using more lately, but it's mostly just Star Trek stuff. And me getting to Twitter arguments. It's great. This is what happens when you follow people that talk about politics all the time, and then I get into those debates, and oh man, exhausting. There's also Facebook, but I don't really use it very much anymore. I don't think people really use Facebook in general much anymore. So Discord's really the best place for that. That and clicking the bell, I guess, for announcements and stuff. Yes. I am actually working on a thing. It's like a project I've been working on for many years. It's related to trails. And maybe I will finally finish it to upload it. Maybe. It would be nice. It would be nice. Am I going to tell you what it is? No. I'm not. Okay, fine. It's a song. It's a song. That's all you get to know. Come on. Any day the credits will end. Holy shit, these are the slowest credits in the world. Even slower than the Final Fantasy 14 credits. And we would have seen these credits before as well. I don't know why they have to play after every chapter. Do they have to play after every chapter? Oh, here we go. I think we finally reached the end. Holy Jesus. Holy sweet Jesus. My phone's about to run out of battery. It's on 3% at the moment. Can we... Why did the music start again? Is this our eternity? This is the end, isn't it? Like, it's not gonna go away, is it? Oh, no, wait, no, it's fading, just kidding. It's fading, it's okay. Oh my god, they're so slow. Come on, let's go. It's not gonna be anything at the end of the credits, is there? Oh, here we go. Question has been added. The new elements may be accessed from the touchscreen. Oh good, there's new stuff now. And I got an achievement. Oh, because there was a question mark before. Okay, there was a question mark before. Oh, this here. Can I click on this? Oh, I didn't know there was. Wait, did I know there was stuff in here? Oh, have I clicked on this stuff before? Oh, well, hopefully I'll remember to do that next time. Except I totally won't remember. I wouldn't remember. Oh, oh well. Yay! We did it. Oh, it's not actually unlocked yet. Okay, we're gonna have to. I guess we have to do that. Maybe I have done the first one before then. All right. Can I save? Is there no saving? Okay. Well, that's a little worrying, isn't it? Should it save? Or is that just if you're in the middle of a chapter? Anyway, yes, okay, I'll end this season. Yeah, I'll end this season here. I'll end this episode here. And I will see you, hopefully, in the near future, but I do not know. I do not know. But I hope you'll have a good weekend, and I will see you at least in Trails, if not something else. Or maybe an Ultra Tiggy stream, I don't know. But, yeah, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.